Please note that this video has spoilers for the subject. Thoughts on 2.5 Men Season 1. And I realize this is going slightly slower than usual. I had to adjust my setup slightly, but we're almost ready to go. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see. There we go. I did not write out. Yeah, I don't need the time code for this. Now, I used to watch this on TV, but I don't remember if I might have stopped watching TV. It might have coincided with my ceasing to watch TV. Is that as it should be? I guess it is. I forget, but I didn't stop watching because I no longer liked the show. Anyway, I have not watched through the entire run. As I record this video, I will be, when I do videos for the later, the very later seasons and the review. I watched a lot of episodes with Candy and Chelsea. I'm not going to go into detail about them since that would spoil them. I don't intend to spoil any of the later seasons in this episode. You know, the names themselves don't spoil anything. Basically, until I do videos on the seasons with episodes with them, assume that I haven't watched past that yet. So if I say something in one of these videos that is completely disproven in a later season, that's why. Now, let's see, we've got the Wikipedia stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna read aloud a lot of this. I do want to note that the German title, because this was purchased via the German Amazon by my father, not myself. It was, let's see, it wasn't the most recent, which was, I think it was a Christmas present. Yeah, so it, you know, the German title is on some of the DVD, what's it called? The thing where they have the words, the box, yeah. The covers, whatever. In German, this is called, I'm not going to go for the German, I don't remember. It translates into English as My Cool Uncle Charlie, which, given that, you know, I don't have to have watched the whole show to, you know, Jake is like 10 when the show starts. The show ran for 12 seasons. He must have been 22 by the end, 21 or 22. And I've heard people point out that maybe the show should have gone off the air when there was no longer a half man, you know, once he became an adult. Although I think you could make the argument that, you know, the half a man is, you know, Charlie is not much of an adult. But anyway, My Cool Uncle Charlie, you know, actually wait, is Jake in the entire show? I don't actually know for sure. But, you know, that certainly covers he's now an adult, so 2.5 Men. Now, let's see. Here in the Wikipedia, I guess I'm going to talk more about it, but yeah, here in the Wikipedia it says, as I've seen put out elsewhere, the song Manly Men, the theme song, was written by the show's creator Chuck Lorre. Should he be proud of that? Maybe it's like a warning, like if you see Chuck Lorre, don't ask him to write a song for you. I don't know a single person that doesn't hate that song. I mean, personally, I guess I mean, I guess I just tolerate it. It doesn't bother me that much, but it's one of those things where when I hear the song, it, you know, forgot to turn off the screensaver. Excuse me. And we are back. There we go. And there. Now, right, this part I do find interesting. Originally, actress Blythe Danner, I hope that's how you pronounce it. She's great. I really love her in other stuff. Was cast to portray Evelyn Harper. But when she started to suggest changes to scenes, she was dismissed by the producers, and one of the bosses commented, "Blythe is a wonderful actress who was put in a part that was not a good fit for her." I didn't actually know that until I decided to do this video and read the Wikipedia for the season, that it was because she suggested changes to scenes. Honestly, I would have just figured just from the... I really like her, but I don't think she's good. Yeah, she's not a good fit for Evelyn Harper, which Holland Taylor, I want to say is her name. She is just absolutely perfect. I mean, I'd seen her in a couple of other things. I think I mostly remember her from the Truman Show, where she's like the mother and she's like dismissive, and like, you know, Truman's like, wow, those national, you know, yeah, monuments, they look so small, and she's like, they're always doing pictures. Let's flip over to the, you know, because in the, yeah, not a spoiler, she's, you know, trying to hide the true nature of the whole thing. And yeah, when they took those pictures, they didn't have like the technology to make it really, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, whatever. They don't have good. And she's like, oh crap, he's right. And so she flips over, but he kind of accepts it as just, okay, she's a little, you know, it's not a completely, you know, you could see how just a mother might say that to her son. You know, maybe she's like, oh, we go to see these amazing monuments, and all you can say is they look so small. You know, yeah, but yeah, the moment that I, you know, started watching the show and I saw that she was the mother, and the way they wrote the mother, absolutely perfect. And in general, just, I really love the casting for a lot. Probably most of the roles of, as far as I did watch, you know, I already mentioned that I watched episodes with Candy and Chelsea. I'm going to be saying this in later videos as well, but I absolutely love, I mean, I love the character of Candy, and I love the actress. Chelsea, I don't know if it's like my absolute favorite character, but she is perfectly cast, and I do like the character a lot. Now, let's see. Yeah, Most Chicks Won't Eat Veal, the original pilot with Danner as Evelyn, remains unaired. Excuse me. And according to the IMDb, Sheen was cast because the creators saw him on Spin City, in which he also portrayed a lonely bachelor afraid of commitment. And yeah, I mean, I guess I don't I've watched very little of that show, but I can imagine. But I don't know, personally, I thought it was kind of like how Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Iron Man, because there's this thing of, well, they kind of went through the same thing. You know, they went to a very dark place and, you know, abused, you know, alcohol and substances, and then they came back, and it's amazing that they came back, because a lot of people don't. And yeah, I mean, yeah, both characters and both actors, you know, yeah, they had that dark period, and then they came back. And I guess, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, let's see. And yeah, and it's kind of fun to, you know, before their reunion on the series, Cryer and Sheen had both appeared in the comedy Hot Shots, and yeah, I vaguely, it's been so many years since I watched that, but I did love it when I watched it. And I didn't really know John Cryer at the time, but I did know Charlie Sheen. And I do vaguely remember Cryer's character. And I think I'm slightly starting to ramble, so I'm gonna move on. And Taylor, Sheen, and Cryer have each appeared in John Hughes' film. Oh, right, but none of them in the same one, so yeah. And Jones, Farrell, Taylor, and Hinkle have all made guest appearances in ER. I've watched almost no ER. So. And Sheen and Cryer made guest appearances on the animated series Family Guy, which I've also watched almost none of. Now, this I'm not really going to get into. Let's see. And here we go. Pilot. And here we go. Now, just like with Mary and Sean and Alolo, I laugh hard and like almost all the jokes as far as I watched, except for the homophobic, transphobic, and others that bother me as, you know, as a progressive. And I realized that, you know, about all of these shows, that as a progressive, I probably shouldn't like these shows at all, but they're so funny to me. And I do also, you know, I acknowledge that the show, I like that the show is fast, and I think that the characters and actors are strong enough, but I admit that, you know, I saw someone say, you know, the show is like 2.5 jokes, and yeah, it is, you know, it is a lot of the same jokes told in slightly different ways, but I also really like that. I like when you're able to tell the same jokes I find that they're different enough in the way they're told, and yeah, I think there are a lot of sitcoms where they do also tell the same jokes, but they don't do a very good job of changing them a lot, so I really appreciate the ones that do. Now, I might not quote the title drops, but I do, you know, I love that all the episodes are titled after a funny line in the episode. I think it helps you remember the episode from, you know, you see an episode title and you're like, oh, that one, you know, and also, you know, if you just hear the episode title and you haven't watched the episode yet, you're like, what is that about? So, yeah. Now, to get into the specific episode ones. Don't worry, there's not enough blood left in my legs to go anywhere. And then Rose calls, of course. I love you, Monkey Man. A telemarketer that called you Monkey Man? I'm on some weird list. And ultimately, Charlie does feel that he has to take Alan's call, but for a little while there, it was like, now, we better hurry. Alan was right outside. He literally, wow. Is she staying over? Because I may have parked behind her. Oh, Alan, you're romantic. Charlie, the key in the fake rock only works if it's among other rocks. But then you can't find it when you're loaded. And she kept saying, I'm suffocating, I'm suffocating. Has a woman ever said that to you? Well, yes, but not a woman who didn't like sex. Autoerotic asphyxiation, right in the pilot, too. Very nicely snuck by the censors. Snuck, it's a word. That's another thing. I absolutely love and that, yeah, I said that about Married to Children. Hello. I love when you can sneak stuff past the censors. You know, as much as I hate censorship, I will admit that sometimes, like, when there are movies that can do anything they want, sometimes they get really uncreative with it. And yeah, I really appreciate when you sneak stuff past the censors, because man, do I hate censorship. I personally think the only stuff where I like trigger warnings, but I don't like censorship. I find that with censorship, basically it should just be like, and like, you know, movie ratings, and like the MPA will write, or I don't know who writes it, but there would be a line saying, you know, some strong violence, strong language throughout, you know, or, you know, for a little nudity or whatever, you know. That, I think, is a really good way, because then you see that and you're like, oh, I don't want to watch that, or you're like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. But actually saying to someone who's creating something, even if it's not art, yeah, some of this stuff isn't exactly art, saying to someone who's creating something, you can't do that. Yeah, it would have to be very extreme before I would agree that you can't do that. You know, these kinds of, you know, creative expression is a term I like to use, because then you're not calling something art. Creative expression, the freer it is, the more it can comment on, the more compelling it ends up. And just going to test, it is still recording. Now, okay then, good night, Charlie. Here's $20. That should cover me till lunch. I think the swear jar, when you're that loaded, it maybe doesn't matter quite as much. And sometimes when I think of going home to you, I cry in my car. Okay, that would probably go on the don't side. Rigid and inflexible? Don't you think that's a little redundant? That's another thing. I absolutely love Alan. Yeah, just these neurotic characters I really love, and I do see a lot of myself in him. Your mother's my grandma. Yep. Grandma says you're a bitter disappointment. She's going to be staying with her sister in Vegas. Who's smiling now, Shorty? Why would I be happy? It's just milk. Cute. Keep it up and you'll be on one of the cartons. A kidnapping joke. A child kidnapping joke. Because for some reason, kidnapping no longer is specific to children. It used to be called abduction. Yeah. Neurotic. You're even better than a dog. And then Rose acts out the wolf. As you do. Rose smells Alan. It's like, no, it's okay. You've got someone who regularly glues your cabinets shut? Hi, Mom. How did you get in my house? And, you know, Evelyn is like, you know, the Yeah, Judith might already be sleeping, be sleeping with someone else already. Have you even stopped to consider that? I think he's considering it now, Mom. And Evelyn already makes everything about her. And Alan and Judith have dinner. Alan really thinks that they're going to get back together. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped ahead. Anyway, yeah, he's talking to Charlie, I think, and he really, possibly Evelyn. I'm gonna move on. With Jake right there, Charlie's playing poker, and they've got cigars smoking. They have like fake stuff for that, right? Because joke or not, a 10-year-old's lungs and cigar smoke is not a good thing. Yeah, is one of them ever in the same shot with Jake? Maybe they used like a double. I don't know. They've got child labor laws. I'm sure someone has thought of. We'll make a list. On one side, you'll put gay stuff. Oh, right, that was the date I was referring to before then. And now Jake is playing poker. I hate this kid. I also really like when he looks at Charlie's cards and he's like, that's all you got? And the others are like, okay, I'm in. And, Charlie presents his cards and they're like, kid, have you ever heard of a full house? I think that's what he got. Yeah, I also heard. Do you know what a full house is? Yeah, I also know what a psych out is. You said hell, put $1 in the jar. Hey man, we all had to. Are you sure? Maybe we should make a list. My dad says we're moving to Grandma's tomorrow. Yeah, that'd keep me up. How come you don't have any kids? Maybe because I love me more than anything in the world. I even played Stairway to Heaven and he still preferred the Maple Loop song. And I love first the girl he's got over and then Rose. Charlie, we've got a good thing going. Why do you want to mess it up? Do you really want me to come back with you? Move back? Truthfully, no. I want Jake to come back living with me. But I think you're a package deal. Evidently neither the divan or the couch are for sitting. And they're confused for a gay couple. Few things are as horrible to Charlie as being thought to be gay. Now, and I think I had kind of forgotten how much of a running joke that is. I'm gonna try to keep a tally. I think just in this season it's been like 3. There are like 3, but for the review I'm gonna try to note if it's something that keeps going, rather than just say it in every single season. Yeah, season video I do. And oh, and as you might have noticed, I'm going to be swearing in this video, since they do on the show. Roughly equivalent to what they do on the show. Moving on to Big Flappy Bastards. And Charlie sings Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Jake is like, must have been before my time. I mean, really, unless he caught it on syndication, but though, I mean, they probably did put them in syndication, but I mean, if he was 10, if he's 10 in 2003, then he was born in 1993. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles went off the air in 1997. He would have been 4 when it ended. So, yeah, but I don't know anything about child cartoon syndication, so. How could a box leave a ring? Sometimes when you have a casual sexual relationship. I love the I need you to be my exchange. Sock golf. Your handicap is obvious. You're 10 and you don't know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't get cocky, there's 17 more whole. Fans are coming out of the stands with bags of groceries. So this is toilet water? At least. The guilt thing doesn't work on me, Alan. Yeah, well, it's all I got. And Alan's still helping Judith. And now Jake is helping Charlie keep up with the movie. And they got popcorn. I am allowed to watch TV. I mean it. Give me the remote or go to your room. Haha, very funny, Charlie. I'm serious. Get out of here or I'll kick your ass. You're going to Judith's, aren't you? I feel for you. Unfortunately, the feeling is nausea. And did you mean I only dated 2 women, including Judith? Of course he couldn't let that one go. I love Alan standing there trying to be firm, and the water keeps splashing on the back of his neck. And then after all of that, she kisses him. Please tell me you're not feeding the seagulls again. Okay. I have a seagull problem. Seagull. Phyllis Seagull. I need someone who can come over with a net or something. Who's this? A net. I have a seagull problem. No. Hi, Phyllis. That was not funny, Charlie. Depends on what side of the door you were on. You know her plumbing better than I do. It's just subtle enough that he's actually talking about her sexual organs that they got it past the censors. We're keeping them? I mean, it's a decent question. In response to Charlie bringing in, what is it, seagull feet, I don't know what it's called, I'm not a bird person. It's a variation on something I do with women and a tennis bracelet. I had never heard that term before I watched the show Tennis Bracelet, but it appears several times. Really? Because you look like you have it all together. It's almost like somebody tipped them off. You already took away all the good stuff. And Alan thinks she wants him back. Alan, I kissed you out of fear. It still counts. And he goes in and fixes her sink. And Charlie's punishment is actually quite effective. That's how you do it. I wonder why they left. Maybe because we stopped feeding them. And Charlie's gonna cook the seagull eggs. I'm not sure this setup is going to keep working out. I guess. Okay, so that's definitely not gonna work out. Maybe. Let's see. That's probably the best I've got. So. I know, this is absolutely riveting viewing. Now, go east on Sunset until you reach the gates of hell. I love the obvious plagiarism in the opening scene. Does Charlie really think he can get away with that? Wow. I threw out your brother because he was sucking the life out of me. Alan, relax. You're starting to sound like a tampon commercial. I was talking about you. That's fair. Hey, you try to find a babysitter on Saturday night. And Alan realizes she licked the silverware. And yeah, I think it's her saying that, isn't it? She's like, Charlie told me no licking the silverware, and he's like, ah. Why is she taking the seat cushion? I don't know why she brought it. I don't know why she's taking it. There we go. Okay, rule number 1. Uncle Charlie does not like to start his day with a squealing creature in his face. Okay. Grandma's here. She wants you to come down. Okay, you're not listening. Rule number 1. It's all I can do to not imagine you lying in a ditch somewhere. Right back at you, Mom. And faced with the prospect of spending time with his mother, of course Charlie wants to go to Disneyland with his brother and his brother's kid. I love how Alan is so into the invisible dog, and Jake is like, fine, and just doesn't, yeah. Happiest place on earth, my snow white ass. Yeah. I like that. You know, because the next time you think of Snow White, you're gonna think of Charlie Sheen's ass. That's, yeah. Again, you know, if it bothers parents of small children, there's a decent chance I'm gonna find it entertaining in some way, but not, you know, not for sure. I'd like for the lawyer to note that, for the judge to put it on the record. Alan, you could get us all laid tomorrow. It's not going to make up for it. I get it. When a guy says he wants to be with his mom, right, Charlie? Well, I may not be the right one to ask. and you know, Alan's talking about how Judith, you know, like, you know, said maybe you should leave. Well, she started my car and threw my sandwich in the back seat. But that's all, folks. And again, the next time you think of Porky Pig, you're going to think of a 10-year-old losing his pet. He goes through Vassovan's shoes. Alright, don't cry, we can still be friends. What? Sorry, it's the only thing I know to say when someone cries around here. Why don't we toss Porky in the ocean and go get bombed? How could you? How could you? Okay. Just because your wife stops dating men, it doesn't mean you failed as a husband. Although I wouldn't brag about it. I am going home to my wife to impose my dominion over her. Oh yeah, lesbians love that. You get that I'm loaded, right? And Ellen comes running back. She chased me out of the house with a golf club. Picking up golf already. I maintain that he knew the fish was bad, but kept eating it anyway. Just drive the cab, Dr. Phil. That really does look like the gates of hell. And now they bark every time they hear a bell. It's your sons, Charlie and Alan. Just in case. I'll go ask the cabbie. Somebody better be dead. Porky's dead. And you completely screwed us up. I'm sorry? Good enough for me. Let's go. It can only go downhill from there, as Evelyn says to Charlie in a later episode. I believe this season, yeah. And he sang the song to the cab driver. And everyone saw what they said and did in the cab, yeah. Let's see. Yes. If I can't write my chocolate song, I'm going to take a nap. I love this intro. It really does sound like they're in a romantic relationship, and just, I don't know, maybe it's body shaming. I don't mean for it to be, although I'm not sure the writers cared, but just the idea of Charlie Sheen and Conchata Ferrell, just, I'm sorry, that's so funny. And I mean, really, Conchata Ferrell, I haven't seen her that much, I guess, but when I've seen it, I mean, with her appearance, she tends to get that, yeah, there's not a lot of variety in the kind of role that she can, but this is my absolute favorite of the roles that I've seen her in, and she's perfect for this, because it is if they had hired like a 20-year-old that looked like somebody Charlie would date in the role, it would, I don't know, maybe they could make it interesting. I do think they made a lot of the attractive female characters interesting in some way, but it would not be the same. Just, the moment you see Berta, it's just, yeah, I love Berta. She's just this, she doesn't, she has such a trashy life and family and everything, and she has no time. Just it's especially because of her attitude, the way she is around Charlie, that she does not take any of his crap. She's just like, I'm overworked, I'm underpaid, you're such an ass. I have no patience for this, so just I yeah, it's from a later season, but there's this episode where, like, Charlie, I'm not going to give away the whole, just Charlie is frustrated that, like, I think the basic thing is, like, how to best put it, basically he feels like she now owes him a lot, and it's like, is she going to be able to pay that? Probably not. And what's he going to do? And she's like, want to take it out and trade, stud? Yeah, it's just, actually, I might be mixing two jokes up, but just, yeah, I love how she does not take any of his crap, because he's so used to being able to manipulate situations. When he's with a woman, he's probably going to be able to get her in bed. When he's dealing with other people, he tends to be charming enough that he doesn't get himself into too much trouble, despite how many people he screws over in his quest to get laid. So just the fact that yeah, that she's the one doing this more, and she also, I think she says in this episode that, she's never in her life going to be as successful as Charlie is. And Charlie doesn't work for his success. She has to work her fingers to the bone, and she's never gonna have a lot of money, and just, yeah, yeah. And it's also because yeah, in general, it's a stereotype. It's a stereotypical character, but I do love the sassy butler, who's just like, he does not take any of, the guy on Soap who later got his spin-off of Soap, the Robert Guillaume, I want to say his name's pronounced, because he's got such a good, this kind of deadpan, and the face, just when someone is like, being a real, really frustrating him, just the look on his face. And Niles from The Nanny, just, yeah, I really love the kind of character who's like, you're rich, you don't deserve it, and I have to work my fingers to the bone for nothing for you, all the while, you get to enjoy all these nice things. I have to dust them, don't even start with me today. I have no patience for this. I hope you two will be very happy together. Why? It doesn't matter, Jake. What matters is she's gone. And we're all gonna die. Charlie didn't even know how to make coffee. I even made your coffee. No? Christmas Eve. What does that mean? It means like Christmas. I love Alan listing all the possible, ingredients that he could have missed. I didn't get to voice type them all down. And I love that he suggests powdered reindeer. I can see you. And I can see you too. I see you. Oh, give me a break. When it's Rose instead, who's like, oh, I bet, I hope he didn't see him and trying to sneak off. Why don't you find someone who can give you the attention that you need, deserve, require? You have so much love to give, and somewhere out there, there's a guy who can take it. Good luck, Andy. They don't make chocolate pledge. My piano needs to smell piano-y. That's it. Charlie, you kicked me in your sleep. Who said I was asleep? When did you try? Where was the try? I merely tried to raise the standard of cleaning in the house. She insisted on limboing under it. She took a bus. I love this one, but it still smells like pepper spray. So how about a shower? No, thank you. That wasn't a question. Now you got a unicycle. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. He's like, I wanted to apologize, and she's like, what? Get out of here. I have so much work to do, I love Bert and her family are so trashy. Okay, let's not make this a competition. We're going to need a new chain. I got in. How'd you do? I love, too, how Rose knew where Berta was doing the... She knew exactly who it was, that it was the Steven Tyler. And they even got, like, it is only a voice cameo, but that is actually him, according to the credits. Sure, when I do it, you just ignore me. I think it's because Jake is, like, running around naked after a shower or something, and yeah. And that's Rose's reaction. I'm a housekeeper, and you're an ass. Trust me, you'll know when I'm choking you. A physical child abuse joke. I mean, that's not even remotely close to, like, Homer Simpson has choked Bart, so many times. But it's all, they're trying to make it always so, like, over the top, so you can't really take it seriously. This you kind of take seriously. You're like, Charlie is going to choke his nephew for, yeah. No, not just. Sometimes I miss. You are a child, Jake. Berta, if you're gonna do a guy in the laundry room, put a scarf on the doorknob or something. And Alan yells at him, I love your music. And it does, yeah, it does look like that's what's happening. Yeah. And to a rock, to a rock star, that, his first thought is going to be filthy sex, not, it's right on the tip of my tongue, not chiropractic treatment, Grow up, Charlie. and I forget the exact, but yeah, Charlie says about how Jake, beat him. He did. Now he's just screwing with me. Yeah, Alan comes back and it's like, he got dressed. I thought you said he beat you. He did. Now he's just screwing with me. It's been a very emotional day. And Charlie still hasn't taken off the tie when Rose shows up. I thought you said his name was Andy. Andy's a real guy. I didn't make him up. When you have to put it like that, there's some chance. The last thing you want to do is wind up with a hump. Yeah, okay, this one title I'm just going to briefly count. I don't know what I love more about that joke. The fact that she's like trying to get him in bed, and he's like, this could, you could end up with a really, bad physical situation. That is the last thing a woman who wants to have sex with you wants to hear. And then also the double meaning that, if you change just a few words there, the last thing you want to do is wind up humping. That is exactly, that's the first thing she wants to do, There we go. Most of the parents wear a lot of sunscreen and shorts. That's another way to go. I think this was for something else entirely. Have you ever been to Vegas? Jake definitely hit Charlie in the nads. All aboard Gloria at AOL.com. And they don't even keep score at the soccer game. Again, I am really progressive, but the idea of, if you're gonna play a sport, keep score. It's just, you don't have to make a huge deal out of it. You don't have to, like, really, like, drag down the team who doesn't win or whatever. But if you're gonna play a sport where you normally keep score, keep score. It's just, otherwise just do something else that also uses your muscles, but if you're gonna play a sport, I'm not into sports, and when I was a kid in school, they would have us play sports, and I was like, I did not care if, I didn't care if I won or lost, if I was not. But if they had, like, been just, we're not going to keep score, I would probably have sided with the kids, most of them, who would have been like, that's ridiculous. There is such a thing as being being too aware that this, still recording, that this might, hurt someone's feelings. That just, we wouldn't want to pry. Can I stay here next to you where it's safe? It doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's whether you beat the spread. More of teaching a 10-year-old, his 10-year-old nephew gambling. You should have taught him that one. Yeah, before he learned how to count, I think was that. It got, I evidently did not proofread that line, but yeah. The kid will pick up anything no matter what it looks like. Been there. So what night is good for you? And like, her kid is crying. I told you not to pick it up. And I love the, I didn't write. I think at this point I had trouble keeping up with the, with the voice typing, which again does not always get the words right, so I have to proofread, and I often have to do that during watching the episode because I don't remember the line well enough afterwards. What was the thing that she's like, don't touch that thing, don't touch that dead thing, and I told you not to touch it. Oh no, that thing's alive. oh no, it isn't dead. I think it's the line. Yeah, and I told you not to touch it. I told you not to pick it up. Something like that. I don't have a clue. I never have a clue. That's part of my charm. That doesn't seem fair. Oh well. Talk about not having a clue. But yeah, it's a shame. Are you getting enough calcium? It's really important for a woman your age. Alan, you're being very professional. No one here wants you to be, so stop. Kate's ex is so funny. It's such a short, but he makes such an impression, and you can just tell the relationship. It's like he's not with her anymore. So it's not like he's gonna stop this other guy from getting with his woman. It's not like that. It's not like it's the husband returning early and Charlie has to sneak out the window. No. But he's still really pissed at this situation. He's like, well, she used to be mine, and he wants to check out the competition. He's standing there like he's guarding the gate to her as if he's literally going to be able to keep physically being in between Charlie and her. Yeah, just love him. Okay, you try and make her happy. You had me at goldenrod. Everybody's had you at goldenrod. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not paying for dinner. Rats. And that's also just, he's like, she's like, it's been a while since I've dated. And he's like, oh, things have changed. Sex on the first date is a given. And, now women pay for dinner. And she's like, I'm not paying for dinner. Sit down. He still thinks we're doing a soccer newsletter. You don't even like him, do you? Great. You broke him. What happened? Did I do something wrong? Please don't tell Alan's wife. And again, to her, that's gotta sound so weird, but he and we know that, well, this is really gonna, it's gonna hurt. Crap, what's his name? It's gonna hurt Alan because his wife is gonna hear about what happened, yeah. I really like you. This is new for me. He's been around women that are super into him. He's been around women that cry around him. But usually the crying comes after he's broken up with them, not after they've met, but before they've had sex. So, or did they have, anyway. You've got a 10-year-old a drum set. You have a drum set, what are you, 11? Why? I said we couldn't do it again. That doesn't mean we can't do it tonight. You don't have a clue, do you? No. But it seems to be working for him. And Charlie doesn't even ask about Alan's nose. You went to Glory's last night. I can fill in the blanks. Who are we kidding? We suck. We haven't won a game all season. And I'm putting that in the newsletter. And as God is my witness, there will be a newsletter. Sorry, some of that came off as feminine gay stereotype. I didn't mean for that. It's just, his nose is like broken, so it sounds kind of funny, and that was what I was trying to imitate. Forget it, Jake. It's Sherman Oaks. And let's see. Did you check with the captain of the Flying Monkeys? Which is another great, literally comparing her to the Wicked Witch of the West, I want to say. I always mix up. Yeah. I haven't watched any version of that story in a really long time, so. There's an open bar and they let me pitch. When did I become the family dog? Always keep my promises. That might work. A better way, excuse me, is to never make promises. How come you don't want to talk to your mom? I'll tell you all about that when you're old enough to drink. Because you'll need to. And he's already thinking about his 10-year-old nephew drinking. Just he's like, not yet. You're not old enough. He thinks it's okay to avoid someone just because the conversation might be uncomfortable. He's not here, Grandma. I call all the time. You scream like an Olympic drug tester. Yeah, that's a really good line. Very nice use of the double meaning. And again, you know, they snuck in, you know, the joke is about, like, sports, you know, yeah, during the Olympics, the drug testers making sure no one's, like, on drugs to, you know, performance-enhancing drugs. And yeah, again, considering that the show isn't, like, on Showtime or something, you know, very adult joke to get past the censorship. I don't believe you, but at least you care enough to lie. I care enough to lie? You just caught me off guard. Oh boy, are we getting a new dad? Oh, bite me, Charlie. And they come up with all the excuses they can, and Alan stops just before Charlie does, and Charlie says, don't really want to. Better late than never. We're right on time. I was referring to the big picture. Oh good, you didn't bring wine. Too many people bring wine. You know each other? I thought I knew him. Oh no. And as she points out, is there anyone in the 301 area you haven't mounted? 310, 301, whatever. And he will never know you defiled his daughter. She wasn't exactly filed when I met her. A chastity joke. Very nice. You play your game, I'll play mine. I think that's to Jake because Jake is playing the game of calling her Evelyn instead of grandmother. You know how I always sing these boots are made for walking with my little dance routine? I know, Mom, I have it on my wedding video. Of course she would make her own son's wedding all about her. Wow. Like, there's a time and a place to make, like, a big, but it's not at your kid's wedding. You said I was special to you. You were. Yeah, me and 3 other women. I said you were special, not unique. Our mother is missing. Don't try to cheer me up. I think someone needs to go over to her place and check. And again, they keep saying they won't go, and then they do go. You slept with her stepsister? I hadn't thought of it like that. Kinda sexy. Pretty sick. I'm saying. The late Tommy. He died? He's dead to me. We can't just leave her here. Okay, where do you want to leave her? so close. She's your mom. And Jake immediately runs inside. It took absolutely no time for her to just terrify him to his core. Holland really can sing and dance. Pick it up, Charlie. We're walking, not crawling. Charlie, you just said you loved me. You can only screw it up from here. Donkey Kong. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. That was... Oh. That's what that means. Well, let's see if I can fix it as easily as I screwed it up. I think almost... I'm having a little trouble with my mice. My three. And they're not even white mice. Whoops, Daisy. Captain Stacy. And if they do go either way, they're usually fake. He actually taught his 10-year-old nephew. 1 second. About fake breasts. Maybe they're at an implants in their relationship. Jake, time to go. Wait a minute. Can you get me from that shelf? Don't tell me. I want to be surprised. Alan, there's something you should know about me. When I say I understand, it doesn't mean I understand. It doesn't mean I care. It doesn't even mean I'm listening. Then why do you do it? It seems to make people happy, and that's what I'm all about. Well, that's very altruistic of you, but please just keep in mind that we have an impressionable 10-year-old boy here. I understand. And it takes a second for Alan to realize, oh, he got me again. That's what he just told me. I love the entire I understand thing here. It's just so good. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of this season for the whole I understand and I do not understand thing. He drew her ass in class. You know, I mean, it's one thing to be still recording. It's one thing to be like easily, you know, like impressionable at that age and something, and it's another thing to be that stupid. Like, I get why it would preoccupy him, but yeah. Draw that on your own time, dude. Don't draw it and then hand it in to your teacher. She's not going to understand. And now he keeps saying, I understand to Judith. It's just, you know, and hey, I understand. And he puts his hand on her shoulder, and when he takes it away a second later, she tries to put her hand on his. She's so deprived of even basic intimacy. Just... I'm sorry, that's really funny to me. Thank your lucky stars it wasn't the cable guy's ass, and move on. And now he's reading Sports Illustrated for women in bathing suits. Are you happy? I have my moments, but they're becoming further apart. Because the only way regular women get some magazines is door to door. These women worked very hard, ate very little, and spent a lot of money to become sex objects. Those breasts alone cost 10 grand. You can buy these? She wants to talk to you. Why does my wife want to talk to you? I don't know. Something's gone horribly wrong. I understand. What do you understand? Not a thing. Since when are you her new best friend? I don't know. Oh, sorry. That's right. I don't know. Something's gone horribly wrong. Why do I need approval from... Why do I need approval from my father? Why do I need approval from any man? I understand. How could you possibly understand, Charlie? And now Judith goes off with Cindy. I do not understand. There are teeth marks on it. They're not mine. When you have to say that. And now Rose is parroting Evelyn to Alan. So, when is Charlie getting up? In about 9 seconds. That's as long as it's going to take Alan to get to the bedroom. Yeah. Okay, this might be better. Alan, you're not helping this go any faster. They got an erection joke past the censors. God knows what's going on my roof. Lesbian sex marathon joke gotten past the censors. Very nice. Yes, Charlie, the important thing here is that Jake knows how to pronounce implants. It's okay because the butt is on the other foot. That's a malapropism, more or less, and just the... He's kind of got a point. Suddenly it's fine that Cindy is half naked, near Jake when, when Judith might be into her. Sure, if you want to reinvent the wheel. I'm really starting to enjoy it. I've only done it on my knees so far, but Cindy says I'm almost ready to try standing up. Sex position jokes gotten past the censors. Uh-oh. And you were doing so well. She was so happy with what you were saying, and then, yeah. Don't girlfriend me, you shallow piece of crap. Uh-oh. And now Jake is judging whether or not breasts are real every time he sees a pair. And he picked up the I understand. Now, that brings us to 25 little pre-pupers will have a Snootful. There we go. He's drinking that early in the day because he's going to be near children. I recently saw a joke on Twitter that was like, someone, they were saying, at like a concert maybe, I would never pay $20 for a beer. And then at like their niece's dance recital, I would pay $100 for a beer. Does anybody like those? The kids feel pressured into it. I get maybe their own parents, maybe, but most of the adults, are pressured into it and hate being there. The people teaching the dance probably feel like, why are they're missing every single step. I taught them this, why aren't they doing it right? Now, this episode is only 18.5 minutes long on the disc. Most of these are 20 minutes. Shouldn't they be like 23 without, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't remember jokes that aren't in these disc versions, so maybe there were jokes cut from, maybe every episode I've ever seen was syndication, I don't know. But, the Germans, they do cut these things, not... yeah. There's the sink. If you put your thumb over it, you can squirt water to the other side of the room. I'm not allowed to use the sink anymore. First your mission, then mine. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to try another setup for at least a little bit here. So, if you'll excuse me. Do not turn to another channel, please. And I guess it's probably gonna work out easier if I do this, which just means that we need the cursor not to be invisible. There it is. And let's see if this works. Okay. Charlie? Yeah. Thank you. Excuse me. I need to do this. Ha! Human ingenuity defeats annoyance. And, I guess if I put it in there, I think that's going to work better. Feel free to use your imagination about what on earth I'm even doing. You lured me in there with promises of donuts and loose women. And I didn't voice type the line because, again, going so fast, but I love when he points out, not only is she not going to be into Charlie, she's married and, like, what's it called? Like, missionary or something, he points out the reasons why she definitely wouldn't be into him and why Alan would know that. Yet again, Alan literally thinks that this is going to bring him and Judith back together. It's easy to make anything sound stupid, Charlie. It's not. Fire me, please. I love Charlie's stunned face. Charlie's stunned face at hearing them sing really says it all. Absolutely terrible music. Talking about the stuff that Judith and Alan. At first, they sing the stuff that they wrote way back, like when they were in high school or something like that. Just so bad with the. And I really appreciate how they got a pube joke past the censors. Look, there's another pubic hair on the floor of the co-ed bathroom. Teenager hearing that. I don't know. I guess, is it rated for, like, teenager? Is it rated for, like, 10 or up? I don't know about TV age ratings at all. So, but, if you don't know what a pubic hair is, you're not going to know from this necessarily, but you're going to get an idea that it's something naughty that the adults don't want you to repeat, and you're going to love it for that. Careful what you wish for, pal. This is from Judith's lawyers. Good news? How could I possibly make this any worse? Let's find out. Boys on one side, girls on the other. Yeah, that's your solution to everything. Start splitting them up early. Oh, sorry. That's your answer for everything, isn't it? I love Charlie's horror at suddenly being the only adult in the room with the kids. And there are 3 Jakes. Oh no. And Charlie realizes the power he has. Oh. That should have worked. There we go. Sure, kick me out, then work on improving yourself. And Alan says nothing and grabs the margarita shake. Jake's in charge, so whatever he says. And Jake smiles, and just immediately, like, it can't have been, like, a second, more than a second, but immediately there's chaos. We can tell through the little crack in the door as Charlie leaves. Let's not lose sight of the real victim in this divorce. Me. You know how they say the show must go on? Well, we're talking about this show. Are there any gay kids here? And Charlie, too, did too about writing the Maple Loop song. What do you know? Maybe I don't hate kids. What's going on in there? I don't know. Only the girls get sweaty. He made 10-year-olds sing a song that implies horny women. Look, you want a show? I'm giving you a show. And now Charlie's trying to find a way to work all his jingles into the Industrial Revolution play. Jake, it's okay to be sad, I'm told. I know, it's a vicious cycle. I love the horrified parents and teachers' reactions to the songs. Or is there more than one teacher? What? The girls look prettier with Hammerstein beer. Get 10-year-olds to sing a song about beer goggles in front of all their parents. We're not letting him anywhere near the Christmas pageant. Agreed. You asked for a show. You know, you didn't have to trick distracted Charlie into writing the music for the... Yeah. It's... Yeah. Even, you know, he even played the bug spray song that he, you know, ripped off. In Mozart, whatever. And here we go. There. Phase 1 complete. That's such a great reveal. You know, all this time, I'm thinking yeah. Now, and Jake starts singing. Is it Janet? And her giggling stops abruptly. I also like the, you know, I've got someone in here. No way. Is it a girl? And then he checks. Yes. I like that you didn't lie to him. I try to be honest. Good quality. So who's Janet? And he just keeps singing jingles to her. It's really nice outside. Why don't you wash my car? And both Alan and Charlie say swell. Maybe if I'm less than halfway through here, so I'm gonna need to find a permanent solution. I guess maybe this. And invisible cursor yet again. There we go. Maybe if I do it this way, that appears to work. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Is it serious? It is now, you dumbass. She's using your son to turn a nice casual relationship into a relationship. I'm going to stick with paranoid nuts, Bob. Paranoid and nuts. If that would stop him, yes. I did not marry the first girl who slipped me the tongue. Are you seeing this? I chalked her tires. You and I have a lot in common, don't we? How so? A hand puppet. That's very insightful and disturbing. And I have to admit, I don't hate, you know, there's a hummed kind of good morning kind of tune with the voices of the theme song. I think that's, I don't hate that, and it's still recording. Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the name of the song, but it is like a famous song, the do-do-do-do-do-do, you know. Alright, you had sex last night, you don't have to turn into Mr. Bojangles. Even better, I had sex and I woke up alone. When I was pregnant with Charlie, I thought it was a girl. The sonogram showed no discernible penis whatsoever. Yeah, I know. Do I need a reason? I would like one. Charlie likes his on his night table. I pulled your car around. If you leave now, I think you'll miss all the weekend traffic. I can get out. Yes, Alan, now you can. Let's see, today's Sunday, so never. She loves me. She wants Uncle Charlie. What do you want, Uncle Charlie? And we both can't. We both can't have me. It's simple. Your Uncle Charlie is nuts. How do I suck? Like a fox. Jake, he won't stop until you say hello. And by the way, was that so hard? Do you really want me to tell a 10-year-old that someone was only pretending to like him? What kind of a lesson is that? He lives in LA, he might as well learn now. I get enough of that crap from my mother. It's not that I don't care what you want, it's just that you're a kid, and what you want doesn't matter. Wow, I do suck. You had hateful, it would have fit right off the A in my quotidian. I have Scrabble eyes. It's a gift, and sometimes a curse. And now he can't stop thinking Scrabble. And Alan does the sock puppet ew thing at Charlie, who doesn't understand. I guess there are a lot of jokes like that, aren't there, where someone will say a certain phrase or a certain thing, and then someone will repeat it later to someone else who doesn't understand because they don't know the context in which it was said. I've got to try to remember that, to note that for the review. It's a joke type I like a lot. Charlie's Angels. Here, in my supermarket. It's not a complete coincidence. I eat food and I live 2 blocks away. I love how Dave immediately tenses up at seeing Charlie. It's like if 2 lions were in the, like if suddenly a new male lion walks up near the alpha, and it's like, and I love how, Wendy says to Dave, like, I don't know, we need eggs or something. And he's like, okay, and he walks off. Just, yeah, it's just immediately he's like, this is clearly a competitor for my woman. He turns into such a caveman. I love it. I'm beginning to realize I might not be the guy I thought everybody thought I was. I understand. You do? No, I'm just tired and I don't care anymore. Jake used the I understand against Charlie. He has been slain by the weapon he himself bequeathed him. Live by the disinterest, die by the disinterest. Scrabble eyes, my sweet patootie. He's a tile peeper. Okay, I gotta go. Your brother's out of control with that egg timer. It's, and Charlie's like, can I join you in Scrabble? It's fine by me. Go ask Mr. That's not a word. And Rose really was trying to get closer to Charlie through Alan. And it's like, missing the forest for the trees. Charlie's been so focused on Wendy that he didn't realize, yeah. Now, that brings us to Merry Thanksgiving. I love how just those 2 words, just so perfectly, he didn't even know. It's Merry Christmas, and Happy Thanksgiving, I guess. I don't, I'm not American, so I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I am I am just an ungrateful ingrate in that regard. But I do know it's not Merry Thanksgiving, and just, he couldn't have, like, taken 2 seconds to Google it. 2003, they had cell phones, I guess maybe not smartphones, but whatever, he's got internet. It's not like he couldn't just have Googled, is it Merry Thanksgiving, or is it, which I suppose I could have too before I started this video, but I know it's not merry. You're not allowed to make merry on Thanksgiving. You're supposed to be thankful. You like it? Then no. I don't think that far ahead. It's this Thursday. Unless you want to spend another holiday with Mom the Impaler. Dude, don't gay it up. Who said he's the one who... Yeah, I'm hoping. So, want to just blow this place and get a room? I can't, I'm getting married. Yeah, haha, me too. That's not a dance of death, that's the circle of life. Is it awesome with your fiancé? None of your business. It's not, is it? What's his name? Bo. Bo? I'm sorry, Bobo is a clown. Oh God, Charlie, what poor girl did you knock up? Oh. There we go. What does my mother have to do with family? You know, communication, self-reflection, personal growth, crap like that. This from the guy who offered my sister a car so she could come to bed with us. So you're alone for Thanksgiving? Yeah, why? And smash cut his lugging around a turkey. From the, like, outtakes, apparently when he sits with it in his lap, that's a real frozen turkey. I mean, I get why it has to be when he's lugging it around, but when you're sitting with that thing in your lap, I just figured, I mean, they've got, you know, soft prop, like when someone has to carry around, like, a big rock or something in a movie, they have something that looks just like a rock, and if the actor pretends it is, I would not want to sit with a frozen giant thing in my lap like that for take after take. I don't know, maybe it can't look properly frozen and thawing on TV if it's not real. Oh, I get it. You're Satan. Eventually wind up with, I'm touched. Alan, I've got a 200-pound turkey thawing in my lap. Sitting in my lap. Yeah, it got... The voice typing didn't get it quite right. No way in hell. Are you insane? What is wrong with you? First Judith and then Berta. Why is everyone getting so hung up on these... Ah, crap. That got mistyped too. Expression. Whatever. My brother's in the witness protection program and spending Thanksgiving with him, and I'm spending Thanksgiving with him in an undisclosed location. I'll give you $1,000. Done. And he paid Jake for that line, which Jake couldn't even say completely without help from Judith. He couldn't have, like, rewritten it to... I think the word is significant. That's the word he trips over, but just, yeah. I know. Just want to make sure you do. And Charlie gets the names of Judith's parents wrong. Ease up on the wine, Charlie. This is really Judith's family. Let's go find mine. I love Judith's parents, both the characters and the actors. Then you'd break your grandmother's heart like your father did. And Evelyn calls the furniture hideous. Hey, who's got unresolved issues with her now? The kid actor? No, that's really my nephew. Oh, a commitment to see. And what finger does that ring go on, Charlie? Did they just sneak a flip-off joke past the censors? This is why I love this show. And Evelyn accidentally outed Judith. They didn't know? No, I thought it would be better being blurted out by your mother. Did I faux pas? Who's ready for a mystery pie? From Rose? Never in a million years. If you were living here, these kinds of things probably wouldn't happen. I love Rose's thanks. It's just so, like, it's kind of this mix between, like, I guess kind of like a child who doesn't really know what she's doing, still recording, and like someone who doesn't completely realize necessarily the kind of company she's in. Like she makes it all rhyme, and she says, "I'm thankful for the birdie's feet." Like she's surrounded by children who would like that line instead of adults who are like, "Is she okay? How much wine did she have?" Oh, right, sorry. This is when Jake reads aloud from the note. The other thing was, I forget what the line was, but it was also something he was paid for. Too obvious? A little. I'm thankful to be here with all the people I love and the people who love me. And Judith. I'm thankful I'll be dead someday and you'll all feel horrible you weren't nicer to me. I love Judith's mom actually starts crying right before she says her daughter's a lesbian. You know, she's like, and I'm thankful that Judith at least gave us one grandson before. Amen. And they start arguing over who's going to cut the turkey. Oh, Charlie, you are so like your father. No, I'm not. My father was afraid of you, and I'm not. Anymore. Okay, that's one unresolved issue. Well, sorry, resolved issue, obviously. I love Charlie. Like, you know, Evelyn is still actually going to get up and take the knife out of Charlie's hand, and she's gonna cut that turkey because Charlie doesn't know what he's doing. And he, like, points the knife at her. Back off, lady. And Jake is so into it. Like, he's, oh, I'm gonna see a fight. Like if that had gone on for many more seconds, he would have tried to start like a fight, fight, fight chant or something. Just love it. You took away his manhood. Well, you're not gonna take it away from me. And he cuts. It's cut. It's cut. It's cut with my manhood. I don't think I'm very hungry anymore. Again, such a good, because, yeah, it's, you know, you took the knife from him. When you took the knife from him, you took away his manhood. You're not going to take, you know, you're not going to take away my manhood. And then he cuts the turkey. And, you know, I mean, it's not, like, the best job ever, but yeah, he cut the turkey, you know. You put the knife to it, and you cut, and you got it sliced. Yeah, it's cut. It's cut. And he goes on to, you know, it's cut with my manhood, and Judith's mother is standing there like, you know what, after the image of the brother of my, of the ex of my daughter's penis in the turkey, I've lost my appetite. Whoops, daisy. And, you know, after that, you know, Charlie's like, marry me. Marry you? You want me to marry you? Yes. You know, eventually. At least call me when you get the divorce. You'll be first on my list. And he turns off the light. Everyone is still sitting at the table eating. Just, he doesn't care. You know, Lisa's leaving, so whatever. And it's also, it's a good, because the audience doesn't know right away that they're still sitting there. You know, maybe she stayed through dinner, and, like, you know, yeah. And everyone, maybe everyone else has already left, or they're, like, getting their coats, so you can't hear them right now, or whatever. But, no, literally, she probably got up like a minute after the camera cut from, you know, the last thing they said while she was still sitting at the table. She left right after, and he, like, I mean, yeah, just wow. And I think it's cute to have, you know, Denise Richards, who was with Sheen, excuse me, as the guest who he wants to marry. You know, they were, I think they did get married at one point, at least. They were together. I forget if they were married. Alan Harper, Frontier Chiropractor. And yeah, it's like, you know, while it says here, it's, the title quotation is from the list of superhero names that Alan gives to himself while he and Charlie are at the bar. While not saying the quote, it is implied that this will be his new superhero name after his transformation. Alan's anxiety is why I don't understand why anyone can stand not being able to reserve specific seats when you go to the cinema. The last time I went to the cinema and I had not reserved, I don't usually buy them, but you can reserve, so you just, you know, you go and you give your phone number and they find your reservation, then you pay for the ticket, just in case you don't, I mean, I don't want to spend that much money if I, for some reason, end up missing the cinema, you know, but the last time I went to the cinema and I hadn't myself reserved a seat, 2008 maybe? Yeah, it's been a while. And I wasn't happy about it at the time. And Charlie counts down how long it takes for Alan to realize. What about the whole gay thing? Did you even give that a chance? And I love Alan, like, you know, oh, you're here with the date. Oh, good. Is this her? Hi, I'm the ex. Alan, that's not my date. Because it just, you know, I used to really love Ellen as well, because she's also this neurotic character who presumes things and then makes mistakes. You know, there's an episode where Ellen is like, oh, he wants me to go to, like, a cool party with him, so I have to know the slang, and then she learns it, and she's like, you're fat and you're stupid. And then he's like, I thought you weren't into the slang. I was hoping, you know, we were supposed to go here and laugh at these people together, but, you know, clearly you're not my type. And she's like, no, but... And I love, I think it's like the opening of one episode, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the episode, but she's like standing waiting for an elevator, and she's the first person standing there, and then a second person walks up, and I'm pretty sure that person also presses the, you know, the button, and then we hear her inner monologue, and she's like, yes, the person standing here already definitely didn't already hit the button, and then, you know, more and more people go in, and one of them presses it twice, and it's just like, yes, press it twice, that'll definitely make it, you know, come out faster. And it's like, yeah, I've been there. I've stood waiting in an elevator and been like, do you really not think I already pressed the button? Is that what you think? Do you think I'm just like looking through the you know, maybe I'm just looking at the doors. Maybe I'm trying to will it to arrive at this floor. Just, yeah. And Phil actually thinks they could still be friends and hang out. She is not coming back to you, pal. By saying things like, sure, can, and I'll help you. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, you can help me? Sure can. Or, you know, you really think I can get back out there? Sure can. I'll help you. How will you help me? By saying things like, sure can, and I'll help you. Bit of a bumper sticker, but sure, why not? Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, right. I am going to die alone. When it was up to them, you'd die alone. And like, you know, it's the thing of, like, you know, what you probably have to change. What do I have to change? And then he goes back to the girls and for them to give suggestions for what to change about now. The fuddy-duddy personality. How would they know about my personality? Yeah, okay, that one is mine. And yeah, what to fix, and then, but how do I fix it? And then he, goes back. This may take a while. Don't wait. And then, it's like Mom's a different person. She's still the same person. Not really. She just goes around and sings for no reason. She just goes around and sings for no reason? I wonder if it's the same reason I sing for no reason. Lucky for you, huh? But I don't have a turtle to put in the microwave anymore. Hey, don't talk to your stupid father like that. You can stay here with Grandma. He called her bluff. Why don't you pick something? I thought you were going to help me. And, Alan looks over them and he picks one of them. I can see myself wearing this. And Charlie starts hitting him with the shirt because it's the same one he's already wearing. It's not literally the exact same, but it's basically the same. There's almost no difference. It's just, yeah, it's like if he had been told wear that shirt to like dinner or something and somebody threw up on it, he would be able to wear the other shirt and the person would probably not be able to tell the difference. No, I'm just spending a little quality time with my grandson. You're on the phone. And she didn't even know how old he was. If I'm 55, you're 7. Oh, he loves his grandmother so much. Jake, tell Grandmama's friend how much you love her. I'm 10. I miss zippers. What happened to zippers? I don't know, maybe there were too many accidents. No one ever got their balls caught in the buttonhole. They actually got down past sensors. That's very impressive. And let's just make sure it doesn't keep going. There we go. Alan looks hilarious in the see-through shirt and the various ones along the way in the montage. That's gotta be. I really hope that John Cryer himself thought that was hilarious. It's gotta suck to have to go through all those. Yeah. That's it. We need a gay guy. So bottom line, he's a sponge. He's a sponge? I just forget the exact one. And when they're like, yeah, I think when they're watching it, Evelyn looks like she's stuck in purgatory. I'm sorry, I don't actually work here. I came in for a belt. I'm sorry, but it's true of a lot of, gay guys, that they're much better with stuff like that than straight guys, I mean, I don't think less of gay guys. And I know that all of them, fit these stereotypes, and I would never. I know a few gay people. I probably know more than a few, but I only know a few that are out, and I treated them exactly like everyone else. Like one of them was one of the only people that I know who also liked Charmed. It was great to talk to him about Charmed. Most people don't. Yeah. Most people I've met. Yes, but who you are can get laid underwater with a tank full of oxygen. I'm never ever going to do this with you again. Promise. I just hope he's worth all the drama. I mean, again, that's, kind of a gay guy stereotype joke, but it's also like, again, people think that the two brothers are actually a gay couple, and in this case, it was even a gay guy who thought it. So, I mean, basically, he almost might as well have been like, if things don't work out between the two of you, here's my number, or something, which Charlie would hate. And you know, there is an episode later on where that really gets, like, where someone thinks he's gay who he really does not want to think he's gay. I don't know, we were watching SpongeBob SquarePants. She just stood up and said, "Life's too short." Yeah, and that's why Rose was like, she's babysitting Jake because Evelyn had to, you know, yeah, she just couldn't, yeah. You do understand she works for tips. What do you expect? It's clothing, not a magic lamp. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. And caramel filters and pheromones. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just comment a little more. I'm not gonna quote them when I get to that part in the episode, but I think I am gonna comment on the various ones. And you know, there's Berta describing Prudence's smell to Jake, and it's just, yeah, that's because she's constantly attracting men, and yeah, you have yeah, you know, she smokes so much that that's all you can smell on her. Charlie doesn't understand that he's a bad influence on Jake, and then Jake starts talking gambling. Judith, I have to correct you because right now I'm seeing Charlie help Jake with math. Technically correct, which is the very best kind of correct. If by nude swimming you mean that she had no bathing suit on whatsoever, then that never happened. And Charlie does the... Do you really want to know? No, but I'm up and my bed's gone. And that's again, yeah, she was like, Charlie, I have to take your sheets, you know, and I forget, does she just pull them out from under him, or does she, I forget what exactly she does, but yeah. Again, he's like, you know, I want to sleep in late, and she's like, tough, I have to do laundry. You know, I have to wash these filthy sheets that you have, you know, the sex of your life on. You know, Berta, I hate to criticize, but the coffee filters you buy have chemicals in them, and Charlie's behind Berta, and he's like, no, do not, you know, abort mission. You know, this is... And then Alan, you know, continues, and I love it. And we have Megan Fox in an early role. And before you get too excited, do note that she was not of age when this was filmed. And yeah, apologies for the remark I just made about her attracting, yeah. You know, it was relatively close, or at least when it aired, she was close to her 18th birthday, but I don't know how long they filmed these before they air them, so, you know. But I don't personally, I haven't watched very many Megan Fox movies, you know, many movies where she appeared. I don't really have a lot of hate towards her. In, like, clips I've seen, she seems to be, I mean, sometimes she gives a fine performance. It's just kind of, everybody expects her to be the hot chick, so she's, you know, she's kind of, yeah, she kind of gets those kinds of roles, and I don't know, maybe she doesn't feel that much like throwing herself into the role because she knows that she's just playing the hot chick, you know. I mean, it's gotta be frustrating. You know, she might have had aspirations beyond that. You know, when you look a certain way, you might only get, you know, now, let's see. I was gonna say something else. I think she's awesome in the, you know, Love the Way You Lie music video. I'm not sure I've seen her anywhere other than these two. I have certainly not watched the Transformers movies. You know, I watched Bad Boys 2, I think once, And I was like, this Michael Bay guy, I would rather like not to ever watch anything he makes after this movie. I don't remember, but I did watch the first Bad Boys. I didn't hate it as much as I hated the second one, but the first one, you know, when you watch it, it really isn't. It doesn't have the quite the obnoxious style that he would later, but the second one does. The second one is just, if you don't really like Michael Bay, the second Bad Boys movie is really not a particularly enjoyable viewing experience. You know? Now, and you know, Prudence asks, you know, Alan, what do you drive? A Volvo station wagon. What do you got? I got nothing. I got not a damn thing. And I mean, yeah, she's supposed to be 16 in the episode, so yeah. Now, and Alan and Charlie are trying desperately not to look at Prudence cleaning the window. I hear she's going to wash his car next, while also eating a burger for some reason. And you know, Charlie's sitting there playing the piano, and Prudence like, knocks on the glass. Hey, you play piano? Well, what on earth gave you that idea? And I love, like, you know, first Charlie plays well because he can play the piano. I guess maybe Sheen can play the piano as well, not only Charlie Harper, but, you know, and as she approaches and she's all soapy, you know, she starts playing really terribly, and she walks up, you're pretty good. Prudence, he's old enough to be your father, and knowing your mother, he might be. She's not wrong. And Prudence is talking about Berta. You don't know her. She's all sweet and nice with you. And Charlie's like explaining why, yeah, to Prudence why she should, still recording, why she should, you know, respect Berta more. I've seen her pick up the stove to vacuum under it. Is this beer for anybody? Prudence, you're 16. It has all that a growing body needs. Not that your body needs growing. I'm done. And Jake walks directly into the window door. He's 10, he's not dead. And the you know, Alan is like, you know, referring to, yeah, I think he himself doesn't really want to take the, you know, the drink to Prudence. Yeah, I think Jake wanted to get her, and, you know, Alan's like, no, this is really, you know, you should not be around such a sexual woman at your age, so, you know, go to your room or whatever. And, you know, she's still thirsty, and Alan's, you know, somebody needs to take out there. Charlie, you want not a chance in hell. Remember when you used to say that about us? Can you put some of this on my back? No. If you don't, I'll burn. If I do, I will. And Alan covers the windows with drapes, and Charlie tries to keep Jake from talking about Prudence. They so badly want Judith to leave without coming in. I think I have a concussion. 4th grade stuff is easy for me. Should be. You did it twice. She failed the 4th grade. How do you do that? Oh no. Are you pretending to break up with me? And that's I really like that's what it takes for Charlie to, like, you know, we've seen in these first 11 episodes, you know, in the 11 episodes leading up to this one, we've seen just how uncomfortable Charlie is with the idea of getting back together with Rose after the one-night stand, after he found, well, he probably already knew she was crazy. He just didn't know how close she lived and didn't realize she would become a stalker. That's what it takes for him to at least pretend to be with her, which Rose obviously takes way too, she takes that way too seriously. For a 16-year-old to try to get with Charlie, he's like, okay, you know what, Rose is my girlfriend, because I am terrified of your grandmother. "2 in the morning, this better be God." And he sees it's Prue. "Oh God. Prudence, what the hell are you doing here?" "I had a fight with my grandmother." "So? When I have a fight with my grandmother, I don't come to your house." "I'll give you 300 to leave right now." "Because they're stupid and they'll die." Yeah, because the boyfriend comes with, and Alan is like, "Charlie, we can't kick them out." "Why?" "Because yeah." "You're his girlfriend? You don't sleep here?" "Yeah, what's up with that, Charlie?" And Berta's daughter falls for Charlie just like her own daughter did. And Eddie is still there. "I guess I'll take the couch," and smash cut to him being thrown out of the door. And then Rose gets thrown out as well, much to her dismay. And yeah, and she's like, "And stay out," and then she walks back in as if they're actually... Prudence is gone, Rose. It is not just... This is when you cut and run. This is not gonna end well if you keep going at Charlie like this. He is very frustrated right now, and you are not helping. "Remember how I've always told you to tell your parents the truth no matter what?" "Well, forget about that." "Hi, honey. How was your weekend?" "Uncle Charlie says I don't have to tell you." "Good cover, Jake. You're a natural at this." And they just shut the door in her face. How are you married with children of them? Because they know they can't save that one. And once the door is closed, they don't have to open it again. Sarah-like Puny Allen. There we go. Which is also... I'm sorry, it's really not right to make fun of... It's body shaming, and it's... yeah, making fun of someone who's maybe developmental challenge or something, but it's just such a funny image. Just, poor Alan, Charlie's like, "Well, I have to find a date for her sister," or, it's probably the father that won't let them go out. It's like in that, the 10 Things I Hate About You, where the good daughter, the very outgoing daughter, is, out, and Kat is like, she left with bikers, big bikers, full of sperm. With from under sauce. What's from under sauce? From under the toilet. He's a comedy blank slate. Charlie not at the dinner table. Kids are great, huh? He doesn't know from under sauce, but he understands sex. Hey, I don't bitch about your hobbies. And it's, of course, Alan who gets sick, not Charlie. And the tea Charlie made isn't for Alan. I love how completely his family does not care. They do not at all care about taking care of Alan, who's so miserable, so sick. Charlie wants to tape the revenge sex, and he wants Alan to record it. I caught this from you. How come you're not sick? Yeah, I've been there. I was there for a week. He comes in and he's like, I'm almost better, but I really don't want to spend any more time alone. And I'm thinking, this is exactly when you should be spending. Just, the virus is dying. It really badly wants a new body to jump into, and you just brought it one. Would you like me to take care of you? Not really. Yeah, he's watched misery. That's the part you won't buy. You don't buy. If I say yes, will you get off me? Bob, I was sick. We all are, dear, but we use discretion. And Evelyn never made the soup for them. She always ordered it. You know what? It's better to go out. What about Alan? We'll have something sent back for him. They're actually going out to dinner instead of taking care of Alan because they got all hungry thinking of soup. Hey, looking good. And Alan looks so terrible when he goes into the kitchen. Charlie and Jake ate Alan's soup. Wow. Okay, let's call it good news. Alan went full depression. He's like, you know, there is no good, there is no great news. There is just painful life waiting for the sweet release of death. Okay, let's call it good news. Wow. Let's talk about Revenge Sex Sister. Casual. Desiree, Alan. That's like desire with a yay at the end. Hey Jake, you want to go see a bunch of naked boobs? Charlie! And smash cut, and it's a sauna. It's a rabbi, Jake, not a rabbit. Jake didn't stop to wonder how a rabbit fit into a joke with, what was it, like a Catholic priest and maybe a, yeah, I forget what the last one was. The wild women who knew me more than anyone in the world just threw me out, so be yourself isn't comforting advice. It's a bar, Jake, not a barn. Oh, now I get it. That's funny! Again, he didn't stop to think how a barn would make sense in the, yeah. And now Charlie is sick too. Very good projectile vomiting sound. Sounds like he got some distance. Especially Alan, you know, and then Charlie walks up. His isn't quite as good. Needs a little bit of work, but still pretty good. And Alan drops the word cloth directly on Charlie's face. Here's Charlie, this'll help. And he just drops it and bleh. And Charlie doesn't even respond. Like, that is just, that's such an uncomfortable to have it covering. It's covering his nose and his mouth. And it's warm and it's wet. Literally, this is not an exaggeration. He can't breathe with that thing there. And he doesn't even move. That's how sick he is. That's how hard the flu hit him. And Alan just... I love this show. Tell Jake I loved him. Come on, Charlie. I was gonna suck it up for you. No, you weren't. Okay, you got me. You really thought he was gonna let that one slide? No, you did not. You were not at all at any point. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, but it's still, then don't claim it. You did not try to suck it up. I think what you do for a living is a total crock. Don't take it personally. Chiropractors are just masseuses without a happy ending. You're not a musician. You're a salesman. And you know what you sell? Crap. It's like Granny's Crunch Fudge Nuggets or something. Hey, Granny's Crunch Fudge Nuggets are part of a balanced breakfast. Yeah, as long as the other part is food. And it's not. Some of those cereals are just wow. I have no idea if the products are actually, like, they've got Goofy Juice, what's it called, Maple Loops, Granny's Crunch Fun Nuggets. I have no idea if any of these products are actually real, or if they just, you know, no real cereal brand would want to associate with them. I mean, the songs would have to be cleared if they didn't write them for the show. And if they wrote them for the show, it would make sense for the brands to be made up as well. But, yeah. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Alan's vomiting sound wasn't quite as strong as Charlie. But then he immediately turns around with his, you know what's great, though? Yeah, it's right after we find out Charlie is sick. There we go. And the women overhear, and it sounds like they're gay. They probably wouldn't exactly have been thrilled if they had opened the door and told them so sick anyway, but this is even funnier. That, you know, and then they just sit there, and yeah. Just to briefly, there are some women named Desiree on The Young and the Restless, but not Desiree Barrington, and neither of the two women in this episode have been on The Young and the Restless, so yeah. I love how they just keep waiting for the women to come in, and they're sharing cough syrup, like passing it back and forth like it's a hip flask or something. Just, Alan, relax. Chicks are always late. Alan, relax. Chicks are always late. Was that the doorbell? Now that was the doorbell. In like a mix of his excitement to be with these girls even though he's that sick, and the flu having hit him so hard, he's actually starting to hallucinate sounds, or he's just incredibly naive, and just, yeah. Either way, I absolutely love it. I can't afford hyenas. And this is the, yeah, it's Charlie realizing he cannot afford what he hopes to buy because, you know, he's so, it was something like, how would you feel about, you know, borrowing money from Mom? I would rather be torn apart by a pack of hyenas. Charlie, I know, I can't afford hyenas. Maybe I will start quoting them. Who won? Who cares? We beat the spread. Nor do I want him tasting your action. Which again, it's, when he puts it like that, it sounds so dirty. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they just snuck an incest pedophile joke past the censors. Because the moment you say, I don't want him tasting your action, you know, often action refers to getting laid, so yeah. But the actual thing is, you know, again, Charlie should not at all involve Jake in the gambling that he does, but he's like, he's not gambling money, I'm gambling money. He's just, you know, he's getting a little bit of a cut, or he's getting excited because I'm winning my... yeah, I don't know exactly what they're referring to here. What can I say? I've got a beautiful mind. Cut his credit card into pieces. Again, I didn't catch the whole Berta's whole line, but I absolutely love, you know, the credit card is good. Well, there's a 17-year-old, you know, clerk at this and that store with bad skin who begs to differ. They decapitated my holographic eagle. And it's like, what do we do? Well, you call the bank. What's the number? The number is usually on the back of the card, and then he has to piece it together to get the number. I love, you know, for a second you think Berta will accept credit for a while, but no, she's gonna stay away until he can pay again. You know, well, Charlie, don't worry about paying me. Thanks, Berta. I'll just take this espresso maker and be on my way. Call me when you can pay. Call me when you're good for money or something like that. And Alan sees the crime scene tape. That's seldom a good sign. Don't rip the tape, they check. And he's still working there out of the, yeah. Like, literally, his office is a crime scene. But, I mean, the cops aren't there right now. They're not watching, so sure, he can work out of there still. And, you know, Charlie describes how, you know, out of money. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I love Stan explaining with the cup how Charlie's out of money. And Charlie still doesn't understand. I'm going to try to get, you know. See, most people, you know, if you imagine this water as a steady stream of income and this cup as the, you know, yeah, the money you keep, you know, most people, they, you know, and he cuts one hole with the pen at the bottom. Most people have a steady stream that they spend, but they leave some behind for emergencies. But you, Charlie, and this is what I love about you, Charlie, when you make money, you spend it all as fast as you get it. You don't bleed. You hemorrhage. So when you stop making money, you're out of money. But why is my money gone? Musician, artist, gotta love them. Are you embezzling from my brother? Embezzle? What? Hello? I thought you were the smart one. I love Richard Lewis. I love him here. I love him in, you know, as Prince John in Mel Brooks's, you know, Robin Hood Men in Tights. No, this is about a completely unrelated import-export thing. I just can't believe one of the piñatas actually showed up at a children's birthday party. He was smuggling drugs, and kids found them at a party. You can just imagine these little, like, I don't know, 8-year-olds, you know, they smash the piñata, and then they're like, what's that? That looks exciting, and they grab it, and the adults spend like a second. That's interesting, kid. No, put it down, you know, just, and some of the children probably ran away with it in their hands, just, which, again, we all know that drugs get smuggled in, for example, piñatas. You know, they get, because, yeah, they, you know, customs opens it and it's like, it's a piñata, it's for a kid's birthday party. You know, they don't open those things if they don't have, like, probable cause or whatever, you know. But, nope, somebody actually mistakenly sent the drug piñata, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera, or bump the stuff that I have the camera on. That's so funny. Which also means that some poor sap who was hoping for drugs opened their piñata and it's like, what is this? I'm hungry. Get used to it. Which, again, it's sad because there are so many people who go hungry in the world. But it's funny because Charlie barely works. He's so lazy. And it's, you know, you always hear about how lazy people, they, you know, maybe they deserve to go hungry. Which, I mean, I think, you know, you work the amount you at least can, and then, you know, the government helps out with some more. You know, that's part of what your taxes are supposed to go to. Take care. Even if you don't care about people going hungry or getting, you know, being thrown out of their home or such, just think of all the money wasted on, you know, then, you know, keeping the homeless away from other people and putting them in prison when they break this or that law. you know, as far as I know, it's more, it would save money to make sure that the people who can't themselves afford food, you know, other than that, obviously raise the minimum wage, but this is not a, I don't mean for these videos to get too political. You have satellite and cable? Sometimes there's solar flares. You have one here that says miscellaneous? Oh, that's, you know, a hot dog here, beer there. It was 80,000 last year. Oh, that's women and gambling. He doesn't want, you know, the IRS to know that, you know, yeah, I don't know if gambling is illegal in, yeah. What was it, LA? That's illegal in, yeah. Excuse me. You know, and Rose is like, you know, he's like, oh, I want to, you know, I want to buy a gun so I can shoot myself. You can't afford it, you know. And Rose is like, you know, I've got one you can borrow from me. It's very nice, Rose, but I'm not actually going to shoot myself. Okay, Alan, you win. I win? What do I win? How is this a win for me? I love jokes like that. The same as, you know, the pilot with, you know, why would I be happy? It's just milk. 25 rolls of toilet. Yeah, seek and you shall find. 25 rolls of toilet paper for $3.99. I know what you're thinking. It's single ply, but at this rate you can double up, triple up, go wild. And Cherry's like, bye, because she walks off, of course. I mean, at that point, she probably doesn't even care whether, you know, the two of them are gay or brothers or whatever. She is not going to go for a guy who's that poor. I quit. You can't quit poverty, Charlie. And I love the pizza guy both times. And he's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Harper. These are ones. I can break 100. He's like, you know, I know you're not going to tip me, you know, upwards of 100, but, you know, I can break 100. It's okay, you know. He thinks that the only reason Charlie would give him ones is if he's like, I'm not gonna tip him $100. You know, just you know, if you don't have something smaller than 100, except for ones. Well, we had a good run. He's probably expecting him to put him through college. Drew Carey Show, another one I enjoyed a lot. Again, you have the, you know, the guy who sometimes makes mistakes and insecure and such, you know. But I haven't watched all of that show, so I'm not going to vouch for. I hear some of the later seasons get bad. But Mimi is fantastic. $10 says pregnant. Jake, go to your room. I'm giving odds. They're about to repossess your Jaguar. Mommy! Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll have to go hide my car. You have any idea how much electricity cost? I didn't either, but it turns out it's quite a racket. And I forget where, you know, somewhere around here there's the line, you know, yeah, it's like, you know, oh, don't worry, Charlie, I can, you know, you can borrow money from me. And maybe at some point we'll have dinner together. There it is! I knew it would come with strings attached, and he leaves, you know. And turns out Rose is rich, and I really enjoyed her outlining how she and her family are just completely loaded. And now Rose has a hold on him. And that brings us to round one, to the Crazy Jake. I'll have to do. Just 1 second. That will work. Jenna Elfman in one of the roles I like her in. This and Back in Action. I'll admit, I haven't watched all of Dharma and Greg, but just, it seems like her shtick is kind of being somewhat obnoxious, and I'm just not a big fan of that in comedy, when female comedian, when they're just supposed to be obnoxious. But I'll admit that in this and Back in Action, she is obnoxious, but I feel like they really make it work here. I love how she can have such a casual conversation with them while smashing the car. I mean, it's not them she's upset with. And just because she's having a nice conversation with them doesn't mean she's still upset. She's not still upset. Do I look crazy to you? Well, he said I have anger issues. The quack. Hold this for me. Never hurts to have a second set of prints on a weapon. I love how, Alan's like, don't cars like this usually have an alarm? And he kicks the tire and then the alarm starts, not the whole. That seems like an alarm. That alarm may not have been designed in the most, in the most efficient manner. Thanks for the ride, guys. No problem. Big problem. Why? Did you escape from somewhere? And I love again, I'm sorry, I know it's offensive, but I really like when, what's your name? Alan. Alan? Not Alan. Alan. Is Alan a little slow? Yeah, but I made up for being a little fast. I know your type. Don't care for it particularly. Usually when someone is like, oh, yeah, he's not used to hearing the don't particularly care for it that much. When, it's usually fine when a girl realizes that he's that kind of, yeah. It's squall season. They're playing Mummy on a chair. Where's the chair? I don't know the rules, Judith. I'm sorry about that, by the way. She's just talked about how, like, she's still recording. Is there a lag? It shouldn't be a lag. She's, talking about how, oh, I know how, you have to be careful around, crazy women. They might do this and that. Sorry about that, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, I think, is this where there's about, like, how gluing his penis to his leg or something like that? That's good, because your drugs are on the East Coast Highway. Where can I take a hot shower? I said where, not with whom. They do genuinely, they're like, is one of us gonna get it? Yeah. And she won't tell them anything about herself. And yeah, she's like, guess. And so, Alan, some guess. Alan, don't be childish. She started it. You said I'm a glorified masseuse. I never said glorified. With clothes or without? I love Charlie's face. That does not compute. Is like, I'm flirting with her. I'm saying all these things. And then he's like, oh, I can give you a chiropractic adjustment. She's like, should I take my clothes off? It took Alan a long time to get to cellmate in guessing who Frankie lives with, Sorry, did I accidentally call her Frank? If I did, or if I will, for some reason, the voice typing did not want to write Frankie, so I just said Frank for some of these, figuring that, yeah. Now, let's see, it's like, yeah, who she lives with. Roommate, boyfriend, settlemate. I think there were more, but anyway. She really loves screwing with their sexual desire for her. They were totally buying that she works for a secret government agency. I really love the back and forth on there was no question there. Well, aren't you Towley Towson all of a sudden? And then I don't think I can reproduce the noises they make, but they keep making the noise back and forth with each other, and she just goes up and does yeah. What? I thought we were doing funny noises. That was an elephant. What are you so afraid of, Charlie? I'm afraid I'm gonna hit you so hard I'll be an only child. And suddenly she's crying. Good, let's go. And Alan gets pushed up against the windshield when she leaves the car. That is one big-ass house she lives in. Or is robbing. That would make us accessories. And they start talking about what crimes they're involved in, how much time they do. I can't go to prison, Charlie. It's a wonderful place where those awful people will never find us. That's scary more than reassuring. It's reassuring to her, I'm sure, but it's scary to the rest of us. There we go. And that was Saliva. Alan is the episode we've reached. And yeah, it's Charlie after Alan explains the rush of feelings he has for Frankie, which, of course, Charlie's gonna try to downplay into some just, you know. When we see Frankie standing next to Alan and Charlie, I realize how tall Jenna Elfman is. I mean, I guess there's a chance that John Cryer and Charlie Sheen are short, but no, she looks really tall. And I'm sorry, I hope she's not self-conscious about that, but she also, in these two episodes, looked like she could kick the ass of anyone who thinks so. And I realize a lot of those might be internet commenters, but if Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back has taught me one thing, it is that it is entirely possible to beat up the people on the internet who say that you suck. Although, you know, that was back when that movie came out. Now with Twitter and Reddit, I guess there's a good chance that they can write the comments faster than you can travel around to. Yeah, it would take a really long time. Yeah, because in that movie, isn't it only the one website, moviepoopshoot.com? Anyway. But it's, you know, I think it's badass. She hasn't played a superhero, has she? Because I think she could. Tall, and at least in these episodes, kind of muscular, and just, yeah. Could she play an Amazon in the next Wonder Woman, maybe? The wacky one? Is there a wacky one? Are you guys gay? Isn't she something? And they both raise their hands for the first question, just immediately. You're a singer? Turns out, no. Okay, Alan, but this girl has a lot of baggage, and I'm not sure you have enough skycaps to get her to the curb. Dad's having another colonoscopy, and if I'm not there, I'll have to watch the video. Oh no, that's so bad. Because I know I seem like I've got it all together, but... Are you crying? I don't know. It's been so long since anybody's touched me. And Charlie looks so confused again. Alan? Yeah? It's been so long since anybody's touched me. Every woman you've been involved with has been damaged and needy. Hey, what about... Go on. And Jake used hide-and-go-seek as a way to get away from Joni, I want to say. Again, the voice typing only wanted to write in Joan, so that's what it says. Yeah, it's been over an hour. I don't know where he's hiding, Joe. No, I was hiding. What about Charlie? He's had his fun. And Alan can't help take joy in Charlie being the third wheel. Are you sure you don't want to come with us? Do you really want me to come with you? No, I was just being polite. He's already imagining you two going through IKEA to pick flatware and throw pillows. No, not always. Absolutely not. Yes, you've got a lot of baggage, but it's nothing I can't get to the curb. What? It was just something Charlie said. I was hoping you'd know what it meant. And both Jake and Charlie take a kiss on the cheek and go, oh man. And let's see, there was something. Yeah, this was in the episode before this one, and I didn't voice type it, but I just have to. I really like the when like Frankie's on the bed and Charlie's like doorway or something, and Frankie's like, Charlie, you're a really nice guy, but I'm not gonna have sex with you, and he's like, ever? Good night, Charlie. Yeah, and there's a point where she is like, it's like something like, gonna go take a shower. Who wants to dry me off? Too late. for a fraction of a second there, they're like, is she serious? Like, they're so shocked by what she said, and too late. Just yeah, that is peak Jenna Elfman, and I don't know, they made it work here and in Back in Action. They made it work. They made me laugh at and in fact like her. Maybe they put something in the wall. That doesn't even begin to make sense. Ate the hamburgers, wearing the hats. Good cover. Why does the letter 2, number 2, always look so much like the number 1? Okay, I think that. Yeah, it's gonna have to do. I love Charlie actually tries to cover yeah, oh, he's wearing a hat, whatever, yeah. What if you drop him on his head? I guess I will have to mop. And again, Jake doesn't think maybe he should wait for his mother to leave before he starts saying, yeah, mop the floor with me, Uncle Charlie. Why don't you have them frozen? Then you can use them to keep your drinks cold, too. Well, you should have thought of that before you threw me out. And Charlie is hurt that Alan wouldn't actually leave Jake with him. Wow, he actually thinks that yeah. Yeah, but I'm your brother. Who am I thinking of that lives in Kansas? I don't know. Dorothy and Toto? Yeah, like I'm gonna outlive Jerry and Faye the way I drink. What do you say, Dad? Don't push me, Jake. But I'm 10. Where's Charlie? Why? Is he getting anything? No, I just want to make sure he knows why. Evelyn actually, first she fakes giving Jake a framed picture of her. And then he says, no, that's for your daddy. Wow. And, Alan is like, oh, Charlie's just upset because, still recording, because he found out that, when, yeah, like, if I die and Judith dies, then, I'm leaving Jake with, and then he stops, and then you realize, oh no, I just told my mother that she's not going to be taking over, you know, or told her. He didn't tell her, but he's about to have to tell her, because he can't tell her that it's her because it's not in the will, you know. That's demonstrably false, you know. So who are you leaving him with? With who are you leaving him? It's actually with whom? With whom are you leaving him, Alan? Now, see, that's grammatically correct. that's where his mind goes, and I have to redirect this conversation. I could always correct grammar. He's got Scrabble eyes. Judith and I aren't going to die, at least not before you. Oh, now you're wishing death upon me. You know what? I'm taking back the picture. No. Better you should look at it and feel shame. Jake's pretty good at basketball. And Charlie actually says about the hospital, some people go just for the food. Wait, which of the two of you hit their head? Because you're delirious. Great, an ambulance. 50-50 shot it's going to a hospital. He doesn't know where a single hospital in the area is. Can't we do this later? Over dinner? Now you're hallucinating. Yeah, he said, you know, he's hallucinating because Jake is trying to place his order for a burger and fries with the nurse. And Gonzalez? Oh, that's me. No, I'm Gonzalez. And Charlie's like, you know, he's Gonzalez. You know, he pays him, and Gonzalez. He's Gonzalez. And you know, Charlie holds Jake's hand while the stitches. And, ow, ow, ow! Hey, go easy on the kid. No, you're squishing my hand. Well, you didn't feel the needle, did you? And yeah, and Charlie tried to, you know, call Alan in the car, and then Jake picks it up, you know, yeah, and then here, what am I doing with Alan's phone? Why? You want custody of that too? Come on, that's funny. Maybe Alan and I accidentally switched phones. You can call me and see if he picks up. 308, lick me. Hey, I didn't pick it, but that's what it spells out. And then, you know, immediately you hear Charlie's phone ring, and Jake is like, there's a phone ring. No, you're hallucinating. The second you're on the ground, I'm sending that kid on a plane to Rhode Island. I love earlier in the episode also where he was like, do you know Rhode Island isn't even an island? It's just a big lie. He gets so childish when he can't get what he wants. I got stitches, there was blood everywhere. Not helping Jake. And there at the end, you know, Judith's like, I'm going to have a few words with your father, and calls, and Jake still has Alan's phone. But yeah, you know, Alan almost immediately realizes, I think Jake says something about the, or does Alan just take his hat off? I forget. And that takes us to an old flame with a new wick. Another double meaning time. One day I am going to sue the people who make whiteboard markers, and I am going to make a fortune because they make crappy whiteboard markers. I mean, how hard can it be to make something that lasts? This episode is very not PC, but I love it. And the title, I'm sorry, that's really funny. I mean, it rhymes with, yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to say, you know, the D word that means penis. And yeah, flame and wick, and a wick. Calling it phallic is maybe overstating things, but it is a long, yeah. He's 10, he's old enough to work. So what happens? I'm going to summer camp. and Berta thinks that oh, she's pregnant. Berta, I last saw her 5 years ago. So she's bringing a 4-year-old. This is one of the only roles where I really like Chris O'Donnell. See, that's a thing. On this show, I can like almost any. I'll have to think. I'll have to try to note in the episodes if there's a single actor who I don't like on this show. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them I do like elsewhere as well, but I love them on this show. So, and Chris O'Donnell, Batman Forever and Batman Robin are not his fault. He gave the performance he was directed to do, I would say. I mean, it's not like he comes off as Robin in this or in that terrible Max Payne movie. Is John Moore still making movies? Has he been stopped? Yeah. I mean, maybe if I saw him in other stuff, I'd like him there too, but I really like him in this. I love the entire bar scene. Charlie's like, well, it's been an hour, I guess I'm getting stood up, and Bill is, yeah, Bill arrived late. He was very worried how Charlie would react. Nice to see you again. Good luck with the penis. I love how uncomfortable Charlie is with the whole thing. And, Bill is like, I don't know anybody in this area, and yeah, I mean, it must be scary to completely change your life like that. And, Bill barely gets through the door and just immediately throws the jacket on the floor. He's been inside, I don't know, maybe a minute total. He doesn't do it immediately, but he walks a few steps and then he does it. He made sure to get into the house before he threw it. The house is clean. I'm going home. I'll pick that up on Monday. She sees something that she's there to clean up, and she's like, I see that, I'm not cleaning it up right now. B, she made sure to tell him. She's like, I realized that there's something, I'm done, I'm going, I'm leaving, bye. I'm not sure if there is a C. I might return to this. But just, yeah, and it doesn't take her long to realize, or, yeah, she can tell there's something about Bill that she maybe recognizes or something that just, yeah. Oh yeah, Mom's here. No problem, I'm drunk. Poker buddy? Used to. Don't call me buddy. He poked her. He used to poke her. Oh my god, he's like half her age. Yeah, that's the problem here. Or, this is my new favorite and the title of my autobiography. My mom and I slept with the same dude. And now Charlie starts thinking he himself might be gay, and Alan agrees. Am I gay? I like show tunes. Maybe my having sex with so many women is just a way of covering up that deep down what does he say? I want to touch your penis or something like that. And Alan's like, at first Alan's like, that, he's going to be like, that's ridiculous. You're not, stop and think for a while. But then, I've often thought that. And Berta realizes that Bill used to be Jill and smiles. I think I already said this, but again, I love the double meaning and wordplay in the title. And Berta enjoys it so much. I think I'm having a stroke. Please, I came here to brag. I just need an opening line. Charlie, I will clean your house free for a month if you let me do it. Let her tell Evelyn that Bill used to be Jill. And Charlie talks to Bill about Evelyn. You've got to tell her before she finds out the hard way. Or whatever way she finds out. Again, you know, and he's like, they're made out of Teflon. Berta didn't want to miss Bill's telling Evelyn. I love Charlie's wave to Evelyn, and she faints. And, you know, at first they're like, she's taking it well. No, she hasn't, you know, Bill hasn't actually told her yet. And Alan's making a list, of course, of, you know, pros and cons of Evelyn continuing to, still recording, to sleep with Bill now that she knows that Bill used to be Jill and used to have sex with Charlie. And I love, you know, the you know, he knows what I like in bed. He knows what I like in bed. He knows what I like in bed. And the thing with, you know, slept with Charlie, pro. No, con, definitely con. He's not used to having to weigh having slept with someone against his mother sleeping with that same person. It's going to take a little adjustment. Adjusting, whatever. I remember the coat room, I just don't remember you. I love that. Just the whole... I love how... And Terry Hatcher, have I seen her in anything? I forget. I don't remember. That's what forget means. That I don't remember. But I love how cold she is to Charlie, who just really wants... You know, he wants to get with her again, and if not that, at least, I mean, I enjoyed it a lot, and, you know, and finally she's like, I remember the coat room, I just don't remember you. I know that I had sex during my sister's wedding with some guy in a coat room. Don't remember it was you. That's how bad of a lay you were. Now, to get to the, yeah. Can I have the... What about the Jewish holidays? When did we become Jewish, Alan? Still holidays. And then they actually divide up, you know, Hanukkah and Yom Kippur. Yeah. We know when he was born, Charlie, we were there. But only one of us got a needle shoved in their spine. You begged for that. I love how dismissive Evelyn is of Rose and her present. She doesn't know any better. It's just... Evelyn, no male child wants clothes for their birthday. Especially not from, like, a grandmother. Like, if they had, like, a hip cousin who was gonna give, maybe, but, yeah. You were louder than the band. Well, doing okay. Starting over, laying on my feet, like a cat. Yeah, like I love that Liz can't remember Charlie. I'm sorry, Judith, but some of us deal with our depression and boredom in the old-fashioned, non-prescription way. So I guess here she is. Later, I remember at least one episode where she says, like they're saying, you're being very funny tonight, you're being charming tonight, Mom, and, you know, good one, Mom. And she's like, it's these new drugs. They mix well with liquor. And Jake keeps failing at the magic. Ironic. Wait a minute, his magic fingers, you remember? Certainly, I am not going to sleep with Liz. Certainly not with that attitude. Is it a black or a red? Look, if you're determined to do something stupid today, I would actually prefer you do Charlie. So with Charlie, but we can't always get what we want. What'll you do, Judith? Divorce me? Marry me again, then divorce me? Evelyn is so wasted. Good Lord, how long have I been asleep? There's so many candles on... How many candles are you putting on the cake? Do you want to handle the candles? Alan, is that what you want to do? No? Because she's standing there, like, frustrated about how Liz might have sex with her ex. Just, yeah. Oh, now we're daring, forbidding, warning, and daring? When Rose said she was going to some clown's wedding, she literally was going to a clown's wedding. How's the wedding? Oh, it was a circus. Fine. And while you're having a good time with my sister, I'll have a good time with your brother. Oh, please, Charlie, I've seen you staring at my chest. You stared at my wife's chest? I'm a man. Charlie is so worried that Judith will have sex with him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't find that funny, but I do. Just, again, whenever someone like Charlie is put in a position where he's worried, you know, where he's turning down sex and that kind of thing, just, yeah. So, another thing I would say, yeah, and you know, there's always been sexual tension between us. I thought it was just regular tension. and Alan, help! Charlie, she's not going to do it. She hates you. Believe me, she hates you. Believe me, that doesn't always stop them. Which, again, he usually loves revenge. He loves hate and then the F word. Doing that with a woman, so suddenly he's worried that that's gonna, yeah. And you know, Liz and Alan walk into, I think, Alan's bedroom, and Charlie and Judith into there. We were bluffing, so were we. And Alan is stuck sitting between the two sisters. Rose looks good as a clown. It's not exactly a look everyone can pull off. They spent time making sure that it would look good on her. My God, the clown has no legs! And at the end, you know, the coin trick. How the hell did you do that? Ironic, huh? Excuse me. Hey, I can pee outside in the dark. And, you know, it's Alan after Charlie discovers he saw a therapist as a child. You know, it's like, did it work? You know, he's talking about the reasons that he had to go, and like, did it work? Hey, I can pee outside in the dark. Alan, that child is driving me insane. Like father, like son, huh? Really, that bad? I'm running out of patience, and by patience I mean Prozac. Charlie, what are you doing? Smoke on the water. Ah, first episode where the three of them lip-sync to the main theme that everybody hates. Do you want me to talk to him? Sure. And I'll finish for you upstairs. What'd you do that for? Because I love you, and I don't want that to change. I really enjoy both of them trying to talk to him. She sobered up on you, huh? And already, so early in the episode, Berta points out it might be constipation. And I think she points out at least once around the middle, and then at the end, proven correct. Trust your first instinct. Give him space, and by this time tomorrow in the music, I will have killed him. My youngest once ate a whole box of Play-Doh. Didn't poop for 2 weeks. Finally pooped out an ashtray. That's the day I quit smoking. And Jake's sitting there with the remote. Stupid, stupid, really stupid, dumb, stupid. Pick a stupid show and live with it. Oh, now it's my fault? Let me tell you something. Between you and your wife, I am in an oasis of normality around here. And Charlie forgot that he left her up there. She's like, Charlie, are you ever coming up? Maybe you should have put a post-it note on your penis. Yeah, but then I have to take it down for the yard sale. Or we could scare it out of him. Because Evelyn just arrived. I can't tell you about being a 10-year-old boy, but I can tell you, you don't know what real unhappiness is. And then she started guilting her sons. Well, if he didn't need a shrink before, he needs one now. Jane Lynch is great, here and elsewhere. She's in that Best in Show, I want to say it's called. Very quirky, very funny. Parker Posey are also in that, I think. Very funny. I think that director directed at least one other quirky comedy that I watched. I think it might be the same director as this is Spinal Tap, but I haven't watched that one, though. I haven't really come across a copy. I probably would if I did. Love the cow puppet. I love the whole thing, you know, like just everything that she says. Like, I like do you like the beanbag chair? It's alright. We could take the small chairs. Could pretend we're giants. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm a giant. Hello, Jake. I can hardly see you from up here. Do you sometimes feel really small in a world full of giants? No? Well, maybe that's just me. Do you like puppets, Jake? No? Neither do I. But it helps me when I'm in a bad mood. It wasn't exactly healthy for him to see the life get sucked out of his mother. Excuse me, but that was going on for years, and he was a happy little boy. I love it. I mean, he's not even denying that he sucked the life out of her. He's just like, well, he was still happy back then. Well, I had a conversation with Jake. And Uncle Charlie. Oh, well, I definitely want to talk to Uncle Charlie. Thanks a lot, kid. Thanks for writing me out, something like that, And all of them, both parents and Charlie and the psychiatrist are like, well, I talked to him, and I have to say, very frankly, who am I kidding? I got nothing. When I probed just a little bit, he told me to besa mi culo. See? Spanish. That was the thing, this and this thing, and, taught you how to swear in French. No, not French, Spanish. That's the one thing he disagrees with. Speaking of which, did I leave that girl at the house? I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot you were there. And just gonna cut on this thing. There we go. And Jake is like, I know. It's just that mommy has a right to be happy. Yeah, he knows. If I didn't know any better, I swear he got laid last night. I hope you don't mind, but I had a talk with him. Sure. What'd you say? I said, drink this glass of prune juice. And she's like, feed him nothing but, it's amazing he hasn't exploded, he hasn't popped yet or something. Jake Harper, Unplugged. It's been a while since I made a video of 3 hours that was thoughts on a season, but yeah, it really shows how much I love this show. No sniffing, no wowing. There we go. And that's Alan giving Charlie explicit instructions to not to have anything to do with the attorney. He's like, Charlie's like the secretary. She walks in, and he's with coffee, and he's like, smells good, sort of the coffee. No sniffing. And then Heather Locklear was saying, wow, no wowing, no sniffing, no wowing. I love Charlie's horny behavior at the lawyer's office. And he's supposed to give this list of people he slept with. Okay, starting from now and working backwards, I've slept with my brother's attorney, and pans over him. Right on. I love Heather Locklear in this, but I mean, she's great in a lot of things. Her I also love in Back in Action and Scrubs. I think it's been too long since I watched Melrose Place. I mean, I never watched Melrose Place, but I heard she was on that show. Maybe she was good on that show. It had Lisa Rinna, Heather Locklear. Wasn't Alyssa Milano on that show? Yeah, there's a reason I watched that show. Oh, man. I should not have said that. This show is already having a really bad impact on me. I really am trying not to be sexist. I know it's not right, but it's hard to get... When I was younger, guys were sexist, and I've grown up on all these shows with sexist guys being rewarded. Yeah. Well, I thought it was a fun fact. And to keep Jake out of his room, Charlie gives him the parental lock code. Because, you know, well, my Game Boy's in your room. And, you know, Jake comes back not long after, and he's like, there's nothing, you know, there are no boobs on TV, or something. I forget exactly what he says. Charlie, yes? I need you to, to testify that that I bought the original book collection before I married Judith. Did you? No. Then I'm your man. Why don't you let me talk to him? Charlie? Why? Just listen to her, do what she says. You're the boss, I'll get right on it. It, in this case, being the lawyer. For God's sake, Alan, you're paying this woman a lot of money. I suggest you take her advice. Is when he says, you know, she told you to go to the mall and buy Jake a new Game Boy. Why would she want me to buy him a new Game Boy? And yeah. And you know, and Alan stops for a second. He's like, Jake, we're going to the mall. And Charlie sits down on the couch, and then that was where the Game Boy actually was. And I love them talking about the, how many women do you have sex with in a year? And 10, 100, and he gets advice. I do all right. And and I think someone says, yeah, I think Laura is the one who says, we are not here to discuss how many women Alan's brother has sex with, and it's significantly north of 10. And Laura puts her hand on Charlie's knee, and that was entirely different. Whoa, man, woman. And she was reaching for some SpaghettiOs. That's what she was reaching for. I have to confer with the witness. You are making me so hot. I see. Because that's, yeah, I can see that. And it's also, if she had said something lawyerly to him, that would be a perfectly, that's a fine response to that. Oh God, bless America. Amen. Because it's like, I think Laura is talking about, we're in a free country. He can have sex with, a lot of women if he wants to. Oh no, I love that chair. She wants the massage chair. Oh no, I love that chair. It was the only thing better than that movie when I touched it. Sorry, but it's funny to me. Crystal, how's that flu? Better. And you know that's true. So many people take sick days. They call on the phone. They're like, I'm sorry, I really can't come in today. I got something bad, and I don't want other people to have to catch it. And just, yeah. That episode of Dinosaur Off is a quite good one, I think. Charlie, now, do you think you can keep it in your pants till I get back? I'm trying harder than you think. You're dumping me? Yep. Now. And, you know, they're talking about the book collection. Actually, our appraisal gave it 16.5. That's right. Enjoy them. Actually, I was only asking for half. Why break up a collection? And, you know, it's like, oh, we also wanted to take it! Anything else you want? Anything else? Judith, for God's sakes, remember there was a time where you loved me. and Alan's going over the dry cleaning, and even Suede. Sounds like she really took you to the cleaners, huh? Sorry. She didn't even ask for that. Laura just threw it in. After she got done screwing me, I asked her why, and she said, ask your brother. So here I am, asking you, why, Charlie? Why did my very expensive lawyer screw me over? And Charlie's like, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna explain it to you, but you should probably sit down. And he sits down, and the moment he gets, Charlie just bolts, and Alan's like, and then he bolts, and you know, Charlie's sneaking in under the cover of darkness. Usually he's sneaking out, and you know, Alan's waiting for him upstairs, possibly specifically like right behind the door of, you know, Charlie's bedroom or something, so he would be sure that Charlie would walk really close to him and that he would be able to catch him. Yeah. My doctor has a cow puppet. Coincidentally, also the title of the episode. And that, again, I really love the... Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I guess I should save it for that. I love Sleepwalking Alan. And, you know, he's making the noise of the vacuum. And he's vacuuming, you know. There are dust bunnies everywhere. So you're vacuuming dust bunnies? No, they're poop. It's all over the place. And, you know, Charlie steps on. You're stepping, don't step in it. And, you know, Charlie's like, you know, trying to talk to him, and he's like, I can't hear you because it's so loud. And, you know, and Charlie turns it off. He's, hey, it doesn't even exist. And Charlie pretend turns off the pretend vacuum cleaner, and Alan accepts it as it turning off. That's, yeah. And, you know, he walks Alan to the bedroom, to Alan's bedroom. Gort, Klaatu Baratu Nikto. What? You know. I've heard a lot of I've heard several different jokes with, you know, using that quite famous quote. I love them all. I mean, this one is beaten, I will admit, by the Army of Darkness one. I will admit that is my favorite one. Klaatu Baratu. What? I said it right. I slept too long. We don't have a neighborhood watch. Not yet. If we did, I wouldn't be able to just stroll in like this. And Rose is, you know, oh, sleepwalking. My parents used to put a football helmet on me and strap me into bed. Were you a sleepwalker? No. Were you talking to Mom? Yes. It's okay. I hung up before I said the bad stuff. Yeah, she does the same with you. Yeah, probably true. And, you know, Charlie has told Jake what to say. Today he's telling her he sees dead people. Are there any of them out here? He doesn't actually see dead people. Of course not. He's just trying to deal with trauma through visual fantasy. Do you have my check? And I don't think it's true that all psychiatrists care more about the check than the patient, but it's still a funny joke. You know, your last check, March, your last check bounced. Yes, but there's still the matter of, hey, if the shoe fits. And then Alan freaks out over there not being pancakes in the, you know, yeah, smart. Yell at the people who prepare your food. And you know, Jake does the when it doesn't make any sense. See, not a clue. And you had to, excuse me, and you had to get in bed with me to tell me that? No, silly, I was already in bed with you. Excuse me. And Alan's making birthday cake by, you know, cracking eggs directly onto the table. You and Mom want some? And Rose, you take care of him. I'll be in bed waiting for you. And you know, child psychologist. Who here is seeing a child psychologist? This is definitely a case for Sherlock Holmes. And like, well, you know, Judith. It was Judith's idea. She thinks that the divorce might, you know, really upset. You know, upset who? Jake. And you know, yeah, my doctor has a cow puppet. MD or PhD? COW. And, you know, Evelyn's talking about how, you know, oh yeah, once he started, you know, taking long soapy showers, he no longer, you know, he didn't sleep anymore. Although there was a brief period of overlap. I recall an incredibly awkward bridge game. I had 7-no trump, and he just walked in with this goofy smile on his face. He just got a joke past the censors of teenage Alan sleepwalking whilst masturbating in front of his mother and her bridge pals. Which is something she still remembers. I mean, that must have been like 20 years prior to this. Yeah. Well, Alan did have sex with Frankie. That was not that many episodes ago. Maybe the person writing this episode hadn't really... Maybe the two scripts were written at the same time, and he didn't know that other episode was going to involve sex or something, but yeah. Maybe this episode should have been a little later, although I do like its placement overall. You know who pees a lot? Jeff Bridges. Everybody sit down. Wow, I feel like I'm at work. Hey, I resent that. Not all seat fillers hook. Maybe if I could coax your Johnson, you'd stop making invisible birthday cakes. What? I can't express myself more clearly than that. Well, if I had to guess, then that's pretty much all I do here. That is not true. It's all they do here. I love Alan telling Charlie Judith how he really feels, and Charlie imitating Judith, and Alan acting like he really is Judith. That's telling her, Alan. Charlie, remember, you're Judith. Right. That's telling me, Alan. Is this going to take much longer? I have to go to a tennis practice that he's paying for. Oh, now you play tennis? Since when? I told you, but you never listened to me. And then he starts talking to the therapist, and you know, he does this and that. That's just, yeah, that's so funny. And like, I forget exactly how, but you know, Charlie does the, and Alan says, and I'm getting really sick of that. I don't much care for that either, Charlie. If you'd like, we can schedule another session, or we can talk about your fear of vaginas. Because she doesn't know him well enough to know that you know, she hears that and she thinks, oh, he thinks, you know, he's afraid of women in general, when You know, he's not afraid of women. He's afraid of a woman running, you know, his life, basically. And because he, you know, acts, you know, yeah, because he expresses that, again, someone think, yeah, I don't know if she necessarily thinks he's gay, but, you know, somewhere towards which, again, he's like, no, no, I'm not afraid. Yeah. I love Alan hitting Charlie so much. I want that as a clip, and I want to put it on repeat. It's just, it's like when Nostalgia Chick talks about, like, still recording, how, you know, the Lion King 2, I think, there's a scene of Andy Dick dying. It's okay to say if it's part of the name. I like Philip K. Dick as well. Yeah, you know, she says, oh, it's like getting a back rub or something, you know, just, yeah, seeing Alan Harper hitting Charlie Harper and being told, you know, stop. Should I stop? It's your choice. You paid for the full hour. And then he hits him again. Just, that's so funny. Which actually, yeah, I guess that means that for, I don't know, 55 minutes straight, Alan was hitting Charlie. And yeah, it has foam, but it clearly still hurts. I guess the electroshock scene was cut for time. And by the way, about I'm not scared of them. I just have a healthy respect. I've never understood the ending joke here. Is the girl a character from some other show that I don't watch? I don't see anything inherently funny in her asking, how long do we have to keep going here? But I could see how if it's, you know, from another show or something, but I don't know. I mean, I guess is it an adult kind of thing to say? I mean, it's pretty typical for kids to be like, are we there yet? And that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need to understand it. I just, yeah. If anyone feels like explaining it, I'd appreciate it. Just like Buffalo. This is one of my favorite episodes, and the whole every Buffalo thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get to it later, but I love it. Alan actually thought that they were gonna watch a movie together. He couldn't. Yeah. You don't read to Jake. See, that's why you're going to the movies. And Jake keeps pretending to forget school books and homework and such. I thought I missed my husband too, but it turned out to be just a little prescription mix-up. I love the support group so much. They have no patience for Alan. And it's like, it's this thing where she's been telling them forever about all the bad things about him. And he walks in, he knows nothing about these people, and they look at him, and they've only heard bad things, and they've spent so many hours listening to her, you know, and, I mean, listening, like, oh, wow, that man, he must be bad, and he's, yeah, that's so funny to me. Oh, cookies! Maybe this will take the taste of foot out of my mouth. Who's the little baker among us? Foot. And I was gonna say, yeah, just every thing. Let's see, is, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, the next thing I want to say is about the next scene with him. And Charlie, you know, God's room. Charlie pretends to care about religion, since that way he can get what he wants. Living the American dream. And you figure ruining my evening would cheer you up? Oh, that's different. Still, get out! I love Charlie's distinction between the different, you know, yeah, support group types. Like, is it a support group of angry women, or is it a support group that's angry? Yeah. And you know, yeah, I forget. Is it Jessica? The date, Tiffany. You know, she hears everything Charlie says and is looking at him like, what? And then Charlie turns down. Want to go to the movies with me? I'm going to go get Jake, but I'll leave the door open in case Satan comes by to collect your soul. Poor Satan. He'll come for your soul and he'll leave empty-handed. Charlie missed the whole button and Tiffany heard everything he said to Alan. No cookies. No cookies. Sounds like it's like still recording. It's like he's, you know, they're like, sit down, Alan, and it's like, you know, they're about to waterboard him or something. Just okay. First of all, can the person I talk to be the one who answers me? That's fair. And she was literally the only person who hadn't, or he couldn't have been talking. Yeah. You know, she hadn't said anything before. So when he's saying, can the person I talk to be the one who answers me, he's mostly talking to the other people because they keep answering when he wasn't talking to them. And then yeah. Would it lift your spirits if you made pancakes for me? I didn't write the song, Alan. I truly, deeply, passionately love Charlie's ridiculous Buffalo Girls theory. The whole thing just, you know, when you get several women together, they, you know, you have to separate them or they get, you know, in a herd. Like Buffalo. You know, I bet that's what that song Buffalo Girls is about. And Alan just, you know, he's out of patience. He's like, Buffalo Girls, are you hearing yourself? I didn't write the song, Alan. It's like, it doesn't occur to him that maybe his theory really is ludicrous, and just to him, just, what? That's what the song is about. I'm pretty sure. Because we know that. And Judith to Evelyn, no, this is not a reflection on you. Yes, it is. I love how Charlie slowly melts the entire support group and takes them away from Judith. Just, yeah. Okay, Charlie, stop. We are not a bunch of sorority girls you can charm with your big brown eyes. And nice smile. And, you know, after listening to it for, you know, Judith has heard it a million times. She knows exactly who Charlie is, but the support group don't. You know, or at least now that they've met him and he's so charming, they don't believe the bad stuff that Judith has probably said about him. But Judith knows exactly who he is. She's known him for years. You know, I mean, at the start of the season, it's been years since Alan and Charlie had contact. But before that, I mean, there was probably a while where they did have some contact, where Charlie would show up at family events, and so would Judith, you know. So, yeah, she knows exactly who he is. And, yes, our children, you have no children. That's true. But you don't have to throw it in my face. I mean, some of us haven't been blessed with the little ones the way you have. That was uncalled for, Judith. It's okay, Judith. And Judith is like, what are you doing? It's okay, Judith. We're all here for you. And they applaud. He knows exactly how to manipulate, you know, this well-meaning support group, you know, self-care, feminist. You have a right to be happy, people. And I belong in that group. And I fully admit, at least some of us could be manipulated if someone who knew how to talk to us and was charming talked to us like that. It just... Yes, you know, when you know the vocabulary, when you speak, because you don't have to prove it, basically. If you come in from the outside and you seem like you care, you know, they don't know that he's had, you know, Jake has met people, you know, met his one-night stands sometimes. You know, this is, obviously, it's not a good... He's a really bad influence on Judith's kid. Of course she's frustrated that he acts like that. And then, you know, acts like that with the support group. But they don't know, you know, they just... So when he pretends like he would have liked to have children, you know... Now... You know, because they don't... It's the fact that they don't know him yet. You know, they haven't spent time around him being himself. So now, when Linda from the support group is happy to talk to Alan, he looks like he just saw a Martian. He just, what? It's, you know, just, the last 2 times I saw her, she hated my guts, and now she's like, want to come have a glass of wine in God's room? You know, it's just, yeah. And I mean, Charlie with the, you know, and, you know, here we, you know, we don't put the seat down, so watch, you are terrible. I'm not kidding. I'm not getting in there with a shoehorn. Yeah, that is kind of charming and funny. And they're actually singing Buffalo Girls. It's like it's as if it's proving his theory to be, which of course the show doesn't think that women are like buffaloes. Many of them are written much more, excuse me, complex than, but yeah. Hey Judith, you want some wine? Charlie? Yeah, sure, why not? And the big head, little head thing at the end is funny. And before I move on to the next, and yeah, the final episode of the season, 3.5 hours almost, so, and still recording, just, yeah. Yeah, the thing where, you know, the thing with, like, you know, yeah, he says where Jake can hear it, you know, why get married? You know, if you've got one woman who cleans for you, and you know, other women who you have sex with on a regular basis, you know, yeah, why would you feel the need to marry anyone? And then Jake says it, I think, in front of both Judith and the support group, and yeah, and you know, yeah, and I forget, I think, yeah, Berta is like, why, you know, what did you do this time or something? And he's like, I just explained, you know, if you have someone cleaning, you have someone you have sex with, you know, you don't need someone else that, you know, to, yeah, you know, to marry. And you know, that, I think that's also what Tiffany hears, because he missed the hold button. I think that one of the things she hears. And yeah, you know, Berta is like, which category do I fit in? Well, Berta, I gotta tell you, it's gotta be the sweet lovin', because it's filthy around here. Something like that, you know. And yeah, and Rose also hears her something, and she's like, did you really say that, Charlie? And both Berta and Rose, you know, are like standing there looking at him angrily, and he turns to Alan and says, see? Just like Buffalo. And that brings us to Can You Feel My Finger? Which is a hell of a thing to hear from your doctor or your cab driver. I've seen the doctor in other sitcoms, but I prefer him here. And, you know, Jake picks it up. Who's on the phone? Some woman crying. Hold on. Charlie, it's for you. I don't take calls from hysterical women. Here he is. Here he is. And yeah. You didn't catch a name, did you? He doesn't even know who it is. The stick turns blue. And, you know, they briefly talk about how he usually sleeps with the stupid. Isn't it a little late for a prayer, Charlie? Hey, don't mock my faith. Oh, congratulations. When's the wedding? Come on, you've never found yourself in a slow elevator without a condom? Look who I'm asking. You mean a vasectomy? Yes? Then don't say snipped. It's demeaning. Snipped is what you get for $12 at Supercuts. Yeah, I kicked around the idea. So, in fact, a few years ago, I believe there was a petition circulated. So many people knew that he was having sex and, you know, didn't always use protection, and they were like, sooner or later, he's gonna knock some poor girl up. We have got to get him a vasectomy. Shoot. Which, by the way, you'll still be able to do post-snip if that was one of your questions. Good. Of course, if I did my job right, you'll be shooting blanks, yeah? Could there be any side effects? Side effects? Well, I write music. Will that be affected by the procedure? Do you write with your testicles? No? Then you should be fine. Then it shouldn't be a problem. I love all the jokes that the doctor cracks and such, and the jokes about frozen sperm, you know, the popsicle, in case you want to be a pop, and you know, well, frozen is never good. It's yeah, it's never as good. It's not really a comparison. They're perfectly. I know for a fact they're perfectly fine. Although when they grow up, they do tend to migrate to the sun belt. And you know, which name do you like better, Tiffany or Amber? With both good names. Okay, honey, let me get this guy out of here, and then I'll call you back. He cares way more about his pregnant wife. And yeah. You're gonna be a mommy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, frozen sperm. Alan, don't use guilt as a control mechanism. He should only spend time with me if he wants to. So I can go, right? Run. I just brought up Dr. Shankman because nobody has noticed my new tushy. It's very nice, Mom. Of course. It's a Shankman. What if, you know, I won't get any grandchildren? You've got grandchildren. Big whoop. One. And Evelyn actually wants to be frozen and have her head put on a monkey body. And later, you know, maybe in the distant monkey body future. I'm doing laundry and I want to finish a load before I go. Yeah, well, me too. So what's in the bag? Sperm. Whose sperm? Mine. I thought we were going to a movie. And you know, there's another container in here. You know, he's like, if I touch a certain part of this, am I accidentally going to touch a sperm? You just gotta keep it out of the sun. Why? Is it vampire sperm? And it's like, oh, a cop. He's gonna pull us over. He's gonna want to know what's in the bag. Why'd you throw it out the window? I panicked. But yeah, I mean, if there's, you know, the cop, what's in the bag? Sperm. That's not exactly going to be a pleasant conversation. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess the glove compartment probably is too small. Yeah, yeah. Don't put it in the freezer. It's ice cream. Store-bought, not hand-cranked. Alan actually thought Charlie would put a sperm bag in the freezer. He eats out of the freezer too. Scout, the dog we had, couldn't keep it in his fur. And Alan's talking about where Charlie's upstairs getting ready, throwing a few things in a bag. I mean, technically, that's, yeah. In fact, if I recall, let's see, is it ejaculation or something, comes from, like, Latin for to throw a spear, which, I mean, impaling some, yeah, you know, so, yeah, he's throwing a few things in a bag. And, you know, Rose opens the door, you need a hand? I get that you don't want to, like, lead her on, and you don't want to become too involved with her. I'm just going to stop myself right here. This show is a terrible... Married with Children, then Alolo, then now this show, I should probably not have... I should have put, like, a buffer in between. I expect the next show to be a completely different one, but part of that is that there are a few more shows like this that I'd like to watch, but they don't sell all the seasons online, so... But yeah, I definitely need a buffer. These videos are probably just going to get worse from here. The only downside is when I exercise, I get all hot and sweaty, and my clothes start clinging to my body. So then I have to go and take a nice, hot, soapy shower. Then what? Rose? And it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess she didn't think about it. She probably just, because she says a lot of things that she probably shouldn't say out loud, that she should just keep to herself. So, yeah, she probably wasn't even thinking about how that would, like, yeah. And I guess that he is fine with. He doesn't want her to crank it out for him, but he would like to have her talk his, through a fantasy. Yeah. And the, why did you walk in? I thought you were done. Why didn't you put a sock on the doorknob? Well, put the legs in your stirrups, and we'll get you shaved. Oh, damn, I didn't bring my camcorder. So what's your name, Naomi? Does doing this make you want to have dinner with me more or less? Just a reminder, Mr. Harper, I am holding a razor to your genitals. That was quick. Do you have a little mirror so I can check out the back? Not that little. And, the doctor talks about how, you're going to feel an incision. It's okay. Just let me know when you're about to... Holy mother of God! Okay, here it comes. Kidding! You thought it was going to get even worse. I admit I haven't watched the full show yet, but I don't think I will ever tire of hearing the Harpers yelling, Holy Mother of God. And I am very much looking forward to rewatching the episode where the response is, no, Unholy Mother of us. Is that next season? I forget. And still recording. Unbelievable. Who goes in for a vasectomy and comes out with a date? What? I'm a man, she's a woman. A woman who 2 minutes after you met her was shaving your scrotum. Clearly a power much greater than myself wants me to knock somebody up someday. You called? And I think that's gonna be it. 3 hours and almost 40 minutes. It's been a while since this happened with but yeah, that shows how much I enjoy it and how much I have to quote from it and talk about it. So yeah, it's 1 o'clock and I want lunch. And since it's just a couple of doors away, that's nice. I don't have to like leave where I'm filming. I guess, yes, next week is Children of Men, and I cannot wait. I love that movie. And I don't think everything I have to say about it is completely unintelligent. I don't know. I'm not going to claim I understand everything about the movie, but I love and want to talk about what I do understand in it. And that covers that. So yes, I hope you enjoyed watching. I certainly enjoyed recording, and I will catch you next time.